Hi guys, and welcome to Town Hall episode 16. These episodes just seem to be flying by. We got a lot to talk about today. Going to be focusing on Hammer. We're going to go over some of the patch notes stuff we skipped and talk a little bit about the new skins that have popped up today, actually. Let's start with some introductions. Below me, we have one of my favorite people in the entire world. It's Mr. Shantu. How you doing, man?
I am doing extraordinarily well. This past weekend, I was at SK I won a Wii U, just to rub that, just to rub that in a little bit more to all those people who are at SK yeah, just been playing a lot of games. Got a fresh new cut, feeling real good. Let's do this.
Right on, right on. To the left of him, we have Mr. Omega Black Mage. You said you watched the finals of Skatar. What else did you do this weekend, man?
I did. I played a bunch of heroes, particularly Hammer, and on top of that, Ultra Street Fighter 4 just came out today. Oh man, am I pumped for that. Oh, so psyched. They buffed my main character, so I'm pretty stoked.
I try and play every competitive game just because I love competitive games, but I have never once gotten into Street Fighter. I don't know why. I've never gotten into it.
It's just the best. Anyone knows me knows I'm a huge Street Fighter fan now, so I'm playing it a lot. That's like one of my big games that I play.
Who's your main?
A lot of fun. Rose. And they just buffed Rose.
Those buffs, those are nice.
Yo, it's so hype watching Corey play Rose.
Oh, yeah. He has the mask and he has like claws. His name starts with a V.
Vega.
Like him on the PC before.
Vegeta. What was your question, Jared? Sorry.
Well, that's what I was asking. Who that was.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna be probably playing a bunch of that, and that game is too fun. So that's what's up with me. That's it.
Right on. Well, above him we have. I mean, Jake. You're the coolest person in the entire world.
I think I'm being trolled because he says my mic is muted, but
yeah, I don't know, is it or not?
It shouldn't be. I'm looking at the physical mic, and I'm looking at XSplit, and I'm looking at my mixer. It's like
we need to make that one of the icons. They spam this little mic.
Just a little mic in the chat, so mics can just explode. Great, just what I need.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Maybe I'll do a chat icon that's just a microphone.
And that's what I'm saying.
With the red outline, the mute. So yeah, I was at Skatar weekend as well. I spent the weekend working. I got a really cool opportunity to pull all the top pro players in the world pretty much into a room and just sit down with an interview and pretty much just put the Wii U down, put the Wii U box down. I hate you. And yeah, it's just kind of like the preparation because that was the final MLG qualifier. We're prepping for the show, and I get to put my focus on Smash Brothers. I was working on StarCraft a bunch before, but now it's just strictly Smash focus for me. And I'm pumped. I'm pumped. But Heroes didn't get to play a lot, but I'm excited about our changes or our updates.
Right on. Well, if you guys have questions for us at the end of the show, we can answer your questions. If Kevin, can you link the Reddit thread in chat? Want to go there? Post your questions in chat and or in the Reddit thread, and we will try and answer as many of them as we can at the end of the show. Let's just get started, guys. New skins were released today. 3 of them. You've got Explorer Lily. You've got Commando Rainer and the
Commando. Is it? No way. It's not called Commando, is it?
Oh, Commander. Sorry.
Okay, good.
Commando Rainer.
And then World War III Sargent Hammer. Let's just talk about the Lily one first. I think that pink tint, would almost make me play Lily.
Almost.
I think the
almost
pink, so cool. Yeah, almost.
Yeah, it looks awesome, and again, Blizzard's skins are just kind of
beautiful, man.
Absolutely amazing.
I'm enjoying how bouncy it is. It's everything's like flying all over the place.
Look at the pink one, man. That pink one looks so good. I don't know why.
It's pretty cool. I like that. It's fun.
I'm just curious what kind of safari you have to be in to be wearing like black safari gear.
The Safari Zone.
Space Safari.
The Safari Zone, did you say?
Safari
Zone.
Oh
no.
And yeah, now Lily's got super buffed. She's really strong.
God. Don't even get me started about that.
Almost, almost a little bit annoying of how strong she is now. You could be super aggressive with her in lane, and yeah, she's in a really good spot. New skins.
Yeah, I just wish she was. I wish she was just remotely enjoyable to play.
You're right. I know.
Because then I would play her a lot. Because she's very good. I think she's top 4 support, in my opinion.
She does look like Dora the Explorer!
Yo, did you just get this?
Come on, Kev.
She's called Lily the Explorer!
Really?
Holy
crap! Did you know the Wind Serpent actually turned into a monkey when you get the skin?
Oh, it should have been Swiper!
Oh my gosh.
No, it's gotta be Boots, man. It's gotta be Boots. and he throws poop at people because he's a monkey.
That's just
great.
Commander Raynor. I mean, that's Commando. You know, it's cool because it's like you get to see more of Raynor, but I'm not feeling it. You know,
you're not feeling it.
It's cool. It's cool.
It's cool.
It's not jumping out at me
because you know you get to actually see Raynor's face. It's hard to see, but if you go to the camo and desert tints,
oh, it's really like
it's really blue.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. I like this skin a lot personally. I actually haven't really cared for a Raynor skin, but I would totally buy this.
I just like how his shoulder stock is nowhere near his shoulder. It's like
it's ridiculous.
His arm.
That's good. That's good.
But yeah, no, I think it's really awesome because, I mean, you're taking the entire Marine armor away from him.
Yeah.
It's, you know, just a completely different character at this point. I mean, the first skin wasn't really all that much. It was kind of like a recolor and make him, and like a couple little wings. But this, he's just a new model.
Now, my only complaint is where's my vulture?
I know, I was thinking the exact same thing.
Where's my vulture? When I saw him on this horse, I was like, that's cool. He's in the Wild West. Where's my goddamn vulture?
Soon. Yeah, I actually want some more mounts.
Soon, TM. Yeah. I mean, what have we seen that we don't have it? There's a magic carpet. There's the ponies, the money pig.
The money pig.
I think that's it.
Yeah. I can't wait for the ponies. I'm buying those.
Too much money on the ponies.
And then the final new skin is World War III Sergeant Hammer. I think this is where opinions going to differ. I don't like it.
Oh, I love it. Are you kidding me? Oh, that's
okay,
so good.
I liked the way it changed how Hammer's tank is. Like, it just changed the tank. I don't like the colors. I don't like the...
Really?
The design. I like the new tank. I don't like the colors.
I think the colors look pretty cool.
All right,
kind of reminds me of, like, Desert Strike.
Have you guys played Valkyria Chronicles? I know this is a real stretch. Like,
I have.
The style, like the animation looks just like something from Valkyria Chronicles. I was really excited when I saw it. I was like, that's awesome.
I didn't know you liked
awesome.
That game.
It looks so cool. Oh, it's a lot of fun. That game is
I've never heard of it.
Really random game. It's like a tactical, it's almost like a Fire Emblem cross.
It's very good.
I'm not even sure what
you would yeah, I remember that came out. What did that come out for?
I think in PS3. I have it for PS3. Yeah.
Had a really cool art style.
I really actually like the camo tint, now that I think about it.
To me, it just looks like one of like the quad cannon things from like the old Desert Strike games that would just kind of shoot at your helicopter.
I don't know why. It's like screams like Command and Conquer.
I don't know. The third tint.
Yeah, Command and Conquer too.
So attractive.
But I mean, I've been in a really
that's
Command and Conquer.
That's one I dislike the most. Is the third one. Like the first one reminds me of like those like Army Men. Like that one's that's kind of like a cool little feel to it. The camo tint's actually kind of legit looking, but I don't like the tech tint.
I like the tech one. The tech one looks cool.
I can't get into it.
I love the tech tint. It's the only one I like.
That's probably the one I'll run. But yeah, no, it's cool. I'm probably the most excited about this one. It's funny that you like hate it, but
I really like. These are all
a skull on it. It's just it looks so evil.
Bam. So bam.
Yeah, I don't know. I was so sold when I saw the tech tint, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, we've all seen these skins before. I'm just hoping that one day Blizzard can launch a skin without it getting linked, and then all our minds actually.
I don't know.
Like, I hope they have like just the coolest skins like that are deep down that only 2 people know about, and then they're launched them, and it's like.
I'm just waiting on Mutalisk Brightwing.
Oh yeah, please.
Because as a Brightwing main, I've been waiting for my little Mutalisk.
Yeah.
Brightwing man. What is this a month ago?
Oh snap!
Oh man.
Callouts.
Yeah, Brightwing's so fun. I still love
it.
But
I mean, the art team for Blizzard is like one of the best around.
Oh god, bar none.
I'm so in love with everything they've done. But let's move on, guys. So this week we're going to be talking about some of the patch stuff we skipped. But first, we're going to go really deep and talk a lot about Sgt Hammer. And I know we're going to have a lot of disagreements here because.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Siege mode it's better, but it's still not as good as old school Hammer.
Oh man,
I cannot stand playing with Siege mode Hammers. They are
I
less
feel that
impact.
is very incorrect.
Assassin Hammer is still better. It's much better, and they are very close, but I think Assassin Hammer is better. But let's, Kevin, you want to go ahead and break down the abilities for Hammer, for those people who haven't actually played Miss Hammer?
Yes, 1 second. I just had the link up and I closed it. So, Sgt Hammer is a siege tank from StarCraft 2. Her trait is thrusters. Sgt Hammer, like a couple of other heroes, does not actually have a mount, because you can't put a tank on top of a horse, but you can put stitches. So, I mean, they're kind of throwing around what actually works.
Balance.
Literally, balance. That's.
Balance.
I mean, I think that's the name of the game here. Anyway, so she has thrusters, which has a cooldown of 30 seconds, which increases her movement speed by 50% for 4 seconds. It's got a 30-second cooldown. Now, this can be used to zoom around the map or zoom in and out of battles. It's very useful, but can be very tricky to, like, you know, do you zoom to the next team fight? Because then you're not going to be able to use that for 30 seconds. So, things to keep in mind. Sorry, that's her mount. Her combat trait is artillery. And what this means is her attacks deal 40% damage to enemies that are 4.5 distance away. 15. Which means that if enemies... Huh?
Yeah, I think do you have a thing up? It's 15 to start, right? Am I?
Yeah,
no, 40... Oh, sorry, yeah, I'm reading...
So you probably have some talents up that
yeah.
would buff it.
Yeah, whoops. Okay. Yeah, so attacks deal bonus damage to enemies who are farther away, which is kind of going to the siege tank thing. You want to keep your enemies far away so you can do maximum amount of damage. Her E now is siege mode, which is why I wanted to go with that first. She increases basic attack range by a lot, sight range by a little bit, and her attack damage to minions and structures increased by 30%, and attacks now have 25% splash damage around them. What this generally means is you kind of have like a quarter of a second, half a second stun, I don't remember exactly, to get into siege mode. And then you have to get back out of it before you can move again, until you get later talents. Her W is Concussive Blast, which is just a cone of damage in front of you. Has a cooldown of 12 seconds and pushes enemies back and does damage. And then her Q, which has been swapped in the last patch, is Spider Mines. Shoots out 3 mines that deal damage and slow enemies by 25% for 1.5 seconds. Her 2 heroic abilities, one of them is Napalm Strike, which is pretty much stays the same range as your siege mode, unless you get range abilities. What that does is it's got a 6-second cooldown, so very quick, shoots a lot, does X amount of damage on impact, and then burns and does X amount of damage per second. Mm-hmm. And then the Blunt Force Gun, BFG, is a 80-second cooldown, giant shot down down a line of the map, which at level 20 can then have this thing where it goes around the world, cough cough, and comes back again and hits the same line again. AKA the tickle machine. Yes, the tickle machine.
Agreed.
Every 5 seconds, so until
infinite
the next
range,
infinite range,
that's
and for 5 seconds, every 5 seconds it comes back.
Yep.
So those are her abilities. Ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts about Sgt Hammer?
So, Kevin knows this. The people we play with, we play Hammer different than the rest of the world for a long, long time, and very few people still ended up playing like we played her as an assassin. We played her like you would play a Falstad, a Demon Hunter, and it worked. She was actually surprisingly good, better than like people would always say like. Oh, Sgt Hammer's the worst hero in game. She doesn't work because they would try and focus on siege mode. But when you build the way we used to build her, she did insane damage. And that's the way I still play her. Now, let me go ahead and say siege mode is much better than before, and it's good. But I still think the assassin style is better. There have been very few situations where I've gone, oh, well, like I remember one time we were trying to push a keep as 5, and their hammer alone was able, like, their team wasn't doing anything, but the hammer was able to stall us out long enough to where they, got their ultimates up and we had to fall back, or heroics up. So she does have potential with it, but I still think assassin's better.
I build their siege mode. I think that's the best way to play her, but we'll get into that, I guess, when we discuss the talents as to why I think that's so good.
No, let's talk about that now. Why do you think siege mode is better?
Basically, they moved around stuff so that you can get hover siege, and you're not really sacrificing as much as you were before. Before it was like, oh, this really gimmicky thing because I think you were sacrificing +2 range, or there was something where it was like really obvious choice. You have to take this. Now they moved Hover Siege Mode to level 7, which you can take it. I mean, there's some trade-offs there, but I think a lot of people are taking Hover Siege Mode. So basically, you can siege up, and she's not like super strong until she hits level 16, and then she gets the ridiculous range. And it's like the only character that I can think of that is like a defensive engaging character. So it's like, okay, this other team needs to hit this objective, but we have graduating range, so if they even want to come close to it, they have to start taking tons of damage because of first strike, because of the talent, the way the talent works. And she's not taking any damage because nobody's going to be able to hit her from that far away. It's just like it pushes people away so well that you like start on the right foot for every team fight. You're always in the lead as soon as the team fight starts. Every time.
Yep. And she creates new team compositions that work very well. Like you said, she's very defensive while being offensive at the same time. I find that if you do a composition that has a lot of support, a lot of like you need someone to peel, but like we ran with, I think it was Mouth, Brightwing, Stitches, Siege Tank, and then one Assassin, stuff like that. Stuff with like a lot of healing, a lot of sustainability. You start off the fight, like you said, in a lead no matter what, because Hammer does a lot of damage from that max range, late game especially. And I find that build to be like ridiculously good on Cursed Hollow. So I don't know. The cool thing is because it's basically making a new composition entirely. Just with that tank, it's like a new strategy from one new change in the game.
Yep, I agree. I think she's like really the only character that can set up like a defensive initiation. If you guys follow what I'm saying, there.
I agree.
No, and I agree completely, and that's fine. The main problem I have with the Siege Tank build, which is it's not really a problem. It's just more of a playstyle thing. Is the Assassin Hammer build, you can just replace her, like have her as an assassin. You can fit that into really any comp. Where, as you just said, the Siege Mode Hammer, you kind of have to build a comp around it.
Right.
It's much. You can't just go into solo queue and be like, "Oh, Siege Mode Hammer, I'm gonna face roll today." No, you have to have people playing with you right, and you have to know what you're doing with it. And that's not bad. That's actually having that diversity and having that option to you is always cool in games like this. But
exactly, it creates diversity, and it also makes it. I mean, you could argue that some builds or some talent, the way you build Hammer, could be better for one map than another. So it's a nice thing to have. I don't want to go siege mode because I'm playing on Dragon Shrine, and it's not good on this map, which probably is not true whatsoever. But that's just an example. Definitely, I would always want to go siege mode on Cursed Hollow just because of the size of the map, and I just find there's so many places where you can just kind of hide away and then just blow them up, and they can't even get to you unless they have stitches to pull you out of position. But you can shoot from way over on the other side of the lane. As long as you have vision, you can just blow them up. So I love it.
I actually think the statement where you're saying that you need a specific comp is a little bit drastic. I think there are definitely some comps where it won't work, but I think you can honestly make it work with most heroes.
But
I really don't think it's that.
I think it can
by
be...
comp, I meant more of like a play style thing. Like you have to, like especially in team fights, you have to be aware of your hammer. And
yeah, if everyone's playing with the hammer, it's a huge advantage. I think like that team is going to honestly be a lot better off going into the team fight because of like that extra range that you have. It's just like, oh well, we want to go in. Well, everybody has to take like 25% damage before we can even get anywhere near the other team to engage.
I don't know. I mean, I still think that she sorry to keep interrupting like that. I still think that she benefits from having a heavy sustain build where you can just really keep her alive, because she has. I mean, you're not getting the knockback on the mines. I don't think anybody gets knockback on the mines. You have the knockback on her, and you have the Z, but the cooldown's pretty long on her boost. So I still think that having like two supports is definitely ideal with her on the team.
Kevin, you were one of the few Hammer enthusiasts pre-patch, and you played her a lot. I was with you for most of those games. What are your current thoughts? You played the Assassin build pre-patch. I know you've been really liking the Siege mode build. What are your thoughts right now?
She's very... she does super... I kind of have to agree with the sentiment that she does super well in certain situations, certain maps. Cursed Hollow... Without a doubt, if you have a Sergent Hammer on your team, you're gonna destroy everything, because as long as you are sieged up and you have the moving around right before like the curse spawns, you're gonna be in a good spot. The thing that I keep seeing that people do is they siege up when they're just by themselves and they're trying to siege a tower or something like that, and you can't get away like that. And that is the biggest issue. It's like they're thinking that because now all these talents buff the siege mode, that you have to be in siege mode a lot more. I only honestly siege up when it's about to be a battle. I try not to unless we're trying to put pressure on their base, or we're defending, or there's a tribute, or an objective. The other thing is the other big issue that I run into a lot playing Sgt Hammer, and this is with pre-made 5s and with solo queue, is the fight tends to get away from you. If you're being engaged upon, that is actually the best spot for Sgt Hammer to be in, unless they have a Stitches or a Tyrael, because Tyrael or Barb, really any of the big bruisers or Stitches can kind of ruin your day. You have to be really prepared for that. Wait for the fight to kind of start, you kind of understand where the fight's going, and then you can start doing your weird stuff. But you don't really want to siege up if you don't know where Stitches is and you don't have somebody blocking for you. And that's that could be a pain. But you can melt those back range assassins very quickly, just like the old battle tank build, where we kind of just went for all the ranges and traits, so her auto attack shot really far. So that's where I'm kind of sitting right now. I can see situations where I feel like I can't really do that much as Sgt Hammer, but there's also situations where if we didn't have a Sgt Hammer, we would have been slaughtered. Where because we had a Sgt Hammer, we just blasted away.
Which style are you preferring right now?
I am preferring... They really nerfed the battle tank. It's really hard to do. The other episode I said it was possible, but that was because I was hoping that First Strike was going to kind of make up for that. But if you're going for battle tank, you're going to take some damage, and First Strike's not going to be worth it anymore. So it's really difficult. I'm going just siege.
So typically, when you're not fighting over a map objective, are you just pushing? Is that do you try to push whenever you have the chance?
I try to stay with somebody. Typically, a warrior class person, because they can kind of CC for me and kind of get them to help get. Because if you don't have your trait, your mount, your boosters up, it's going to be really difficult for you to get away. And if you have a tank. If you have a tank, you can actually start pushing down lanes, but I don't really like pushing down lanes by myself. It's actually very scary.
It's weird, Hammer is built for team pushing. You have your 5 team and you're sieging their force, or you're defending with it. You can't be like a Murky or a Witch Doctor who can solo backdoor and just push. It's kind of weird to say that, because it feels like she would be designed for pushing a lane by herself and ignoring team. But she actually needs to be, like Kevin said, with somebody that can either peel or just in a team, just pushing with the team. She's not good for solo pushing.
And I think that's probably her biggest, the biggest mistake that I see with new players playing her in solo queue is they always just think, okay, I'm just going to go up, I'm going to go in the bush, and I'm going to siege up. And you see it every time, and you immediately know they're a new player. But you're right, though. Siege tank, you think, okay, this character is designed for pushing. But she's great at it, just it's too risky alone. For sure.
Yeah, you got to do it with the team.
It takes a lot of experience to know when the right time to push,
or siege in general.
Sieging in general. But people, that's definitely a huge mistake. You see a lot.
She's
of
all about positioning.
You can push by yourself, but
you gotta have super good map awareness. If your
up.
map awareness isn't 100%, I know where every single other hero on the other team is, don't do it.
Right.
Just don't do it. Don't. It's why take the risk at all? Because that could be the Stitches that hooks and gorges you and pulls you over the wall. Why take the risk?
Can I go ahead and say that the QE swap was the coolest thing that Blizzard has done in the history of video games. It broke Hammer, man. It was such a great, fantastic
It was
change.
such a headache for the first day that I was playing Sgt Hammer. And
I kept sieging up in the middle of fights and I'm trying to run away.
Kevin, new Sgt Hammer is terrible. And I'm like, no, I literally keep hitting Q and it's shooting down mines and I'm accidentally trying to throw down mines and I'm sieging up. It's just, everything was backwards.
No, that was the worst, because I would be running away from the situation. I would activate the thrusters, start moving away, and I'm like, oh, I'll just put these mines down so they have to run over them to get it. It's boom, just sits in place. You're like, the worst.
Before we dive into talents, I want to try something new here. If you had to pair Hammer, if you're duo queuing, let's say Kevin and I were queuing up, and you wanted to play with Hammer and then have the ideal hero with them, who would you guys choose as your duo queue partner?
Can I start?
Yeah, go ahead, Corey.
Okay. This was a fun one. I think it was Steve that was telling me about this. But you play with the stitches. It takes friendly hook, and you can siege up and then have him pull you to where you need to go.
Oh no, I was mentioning that last episode. Yeah, Dunk Train and his friends. I think I don't even know if it was they meant to do it, but it was working. Like it was.
It
awesome.
sounds so
That's
fun.
fun.
So fun.
All right, so
is that ideal or most fun?
that's just fun. I don't know how useful that is.
You're duo queuing. You can't go into games even when you're duo queuing expecting to like.
Well, I meant by what is the ideal hero you want? You like if you're gonna build a competitive comp with a hammer, who do you want with them?
I would probably either go with an Arthas or an Uther.
Arthas or Uther?
That is weird.
I agree with Uther.
Arthas. So I don't know. I'm really in a weird spot with
on Arthas right now.
I don't think that he's really good at like going in and bruisering, but his damage is really good if somebody comes too close. You know, like if somebody's trying to fight and there's an Arthas and somebody else there, then Arthas excels. So really
Arthas does well when someone plays bad. Good. Okay.
I actually really like a Diablo with a hammer. I love the peel. Like Diablo has so much peeling that.
You definitely need one of the tanks for sure. Like you need either Diablo.
My default would have been Stitches, but there's so many bad Stitches. Like, let me hook this person into Hammer. And that's
no, that's not what I want.
Don't do that. Like good Stitches, I might prefer.
But
Diablo
Putrid Bile, if they get a lot of like people bunched up on a Putrid Bile, that's amazing. That's so good. Like there's so much damage I'm putting out, especially with the extra splash damage and everything, because people bunched up.
And the reverse of that, with Gorge. Like, there's so many heroes that can just dive on hammer. Like Kev was saying, like a barbarian in Ethereal can insta-give a hammer pretty quickly.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So it's a great peeling method as well.
So Hammer and Stitches are Corey's two favorite characters, and he was just fantasizing about shooting with siege mode into people that are in Putrid Bile, and he was getting off hard. He was just like,
I was.
oh god, this is glorious.
Jake,
throw some barb in there. I'll be all right.
Jake, who's your?
I would pick Uther. The heals, the sustain, and the stun.
Yeah,
just covers all the bases.
You really need exactly. I mean, that's something that somebody's bringing up in chat. I mean, if somebody dies, if there's a Tyrael or a Barb or an Illidan or anybody who can really just dive in and get in the face of Hammer, you're gonna have a lot of problems. You're gonna have a bad time. So you need that.
She's gonna get out no matter what with Uther. So no matter what.
For sure, you need some peel. Definitely.
All right, let's dive into talents, guys.
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom. All right. So
I might be the weird one here, but I'm not gonna talk about my assassin build because we've seen it before. We've talked about it before when we talked about Hammer before. I'm gonna talk about pure because I just want to clarify again because sometimes people get the wrong impression. I do think assassin build's still better, but Siege Tank Hammer is good. I don't want people just because I think something's better that the other one must be exponentially worse. I think Sargent Hammer and Siege Mod's good. I actually take Resistant. I think I see a lot of people taking the Cloak. I prefer Resistant at this tier.
That's
or Advanced Artillery. I go between them. I don't really like the Cloak. I think it's silly. I get one of those two if I choose.
So the Cloak would make sense if it was like every 5 or 3 seconds that you're not shooting, you cloak again, and then you have like an extra empowered shot. That would be cool, but sieging up every time to get one cloak and one shot seems
I actually like that idea, Kev.
Underwhelming.
But it hits pretty hard.
Yeah, it does. It's not.
So a lot of the times I find somebody's weak or something, and you can cloak up that 50% bonus damage. Like especially if you're coordinating with another assassin. Like imagine if you cloak and you manage to coordinate with a Nova, like they just melt. So I think every 4 seconds might be a little bit too strong. Maybe if it reduced the cast time slightly of the actual siege mode, so you actually can siege up a little bit quicker while doing it.
That would break it though.
Yeah, probably. So I don't know. I think it's fine. I don't think it's bad.
It's not bad, but I prefer Resistant in most situations, to be honest.
That is interesting.
Okay, what's really interesting is that 2 people have picked Regen Master on the straw poll. By the way, guys, we have straw polls, so for every tier we're going to be putting out a straw poll, so just throw out what your answer would be, vote for what tier or what talent you go to. For me personally, I go for Advanced Artillery. That extra 10%
it's nice.
Is undeniably awesome.
I take that almost every game.
I flip flop between the two. Resistance, but I feel that it's nice. I mean, that's a resistance is huge.
This is really, really split. Holy crap!
Like the duration of silences, stuns, slows, and roots by 50%. That's a big deal. That can be be the difference between you dying and you living.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a big deal. I don't think it can, but I get shocked that so many people take ambush.
So
I think the other two are by far better.
I mean, I think it's. I mean, I grabbed ambush the first time because I kind of was like a little bit rushed, and I was like, "Oh, I need a talent ambush," and then I took like one shot. It was just like Skullcracker on Muradin. I was just like, "Yep, nope, never picking this."
Would you guys take it if it was 50% to your next ability?
I don't think so. I think I prefer it on basic attacks.
Why next
Well,
ability?
what if it was both? What if it was both, like either or? Like, well, your napalm strike could hit harder or something like that, or BFG, whatever you take.
No.
Or all the mines lay down, whatever.
If it had a retick, it was just like an empowered shot. Maybe take it down to 25% and put it on a 5-second timer. You recloak if you don't shoot, and do 25% extra. That would be awesome. Past that, I don't understand the point of it.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably the right thing.
It's a really crappy ambush.
What's with Lethal Blast? Nobody. How many people took Lethal Blast?
Two
people took it.
Two took ambush. Two took lethal. Now, Lethal Blast, I'd say, is probably the least appealing. And,
what would it take for you guys to want to pick this?
No, I'd take Lethal Blast over Regen Master Jake.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe a little bit slow on it. I don't know.
Extra blast. If you could shoot them. Yeah, if you could shoot them super far, that'd be.
Oh, extra knockback. Isn't there one that
kind of like Tychus's grenade upgrade?
Yeah, there's excessive force at level 4, but I mean, I don't see the point of your W is not your damage dealer at all.
Yeah, definitely.
It's too bad it's not level 1. It'd be cool if you get an extra charge of it, but that would be pretty strong for level 1.
Huh.
I think. But an extra charge would be
maybe a
cool.
later game. Yeah, that would be interesting. The double shot would be nice. But that'd have to be something much later, where
because that gives you a lot more utility.
That's really good. So that's something you need.
That's what I'm saying. It couldn't be on level 1,
right?
But it would give you so much more escapability, utility. It'd be pretty fun.
For sure.
And Regen Master is it's definitely perplexing.
You're usually so far away from creeps that going up to go pick up a Regen orb would feel weird.
Right. Yeah. And it's why are there even 5 abilities here? They could just take it out and things would be all right.
I would agree.
I think they're really just trying to experiment with Regen Master. I think it's one of the Shamptoo's the only person in the entire world that consistently goes Regen Master.
No, I think it's fine on something.
Not on Sergeant Hammer. Not
on Hammer. On Diablo or something though.
On Diablo, on a lot of the tank, even then a couple other people. On a lot of the warriors, because we're talking about a tank. Regen Master is pretty decent,
but definitely not on Hammer. No way.
Yeah. Okay. On.
Let's move on to level 4. I get Maelstrom Shells, personally. I think focus attacks is so much worse now.
Yeah.
Yeah, every 10 seconds it's really rough. Sergeant Hammer does shoot pretty quickly later on. I don't know the exact attack speed because they don't show attack speed in the game anymore because of the new UI. Hoping that's going to get fixed. If I had the exact numbers, I would definitely try out what focused attack could possibly be later on in the game because 50% extra damage with all the other buffs would sound really awesome. But for now, I just want that +1 range.
Yeah.
Vamp Assault is just, as we said, it's position-based. You shouldn't be taking damage on Hammer. And, I've never even tried experimenting with Vamp Assault, but I assume the healing is really not that great.
Right. Yeah, Maelstrom Shell seems like a no-brainer, honestly.
All right, let's move on. Level 7.
Just look at the straw poll real quick. Bam. Yeah, pretty much unanimous.
Yeah.
So mine might be different here, and and I think it's kind of weird that I do it too. I get hypercooling engines. I like the 10 seconds off thrusters because I like using thrusters a lot. I don't like cover siege mode. If I get one of the other ones, I get fortified position. But I usually flip between those two. I don't really enjoy hover siege mode that much.
I wouldn't like hover siege if you couldn't boost while hover sieged.
But now
you can boost.
Now you can.
That's so good. You actually move at a reasonable speed while you're boosting in hover siege mode. So it's like you can run away from people that are like, it's probably pretty akin to average move speed not on a horse for most heroes. So you can actually run away, buy yourself some time with mines, with your concussive blast, or maybe enough time for someone else to come help you. But like, it's really good. I don't know. It allows you to give those like slight position changes in the fight and everything. It's too useful.
I think I'm the only person in the world that doesn't go hover siege mode. To be honest, I just don't like it. I don't like the feel of it. I just feel so. I don't know.
Hypercooling engines is nice. It's really nice, but I think the other option is just way too enticing.
More than likely, that's probably right.
Let's see, Jared. Are you alone? Are you alone?
First aid? Yeah. I need an explanation for first aid. You're getting trolled hard. I love it.
I mean, hypercooling engines would really work if they kept Battle Tank a viable option, but because they shoved those two incredibly important Battle Tank talents on level 13, it doesn't really work out so well. Yeah. Hypercooling engines is pretty nice, but the hover siege mode, here's what I imagine every time I hover up and I'm like going across the map and there's a battle and I'm just about to hit it in range. I'm thinking the end of Star Wars Episode 4 and I'm the Death Star and I'm about to hit Yavin. Like, that's like my image as the little circle, like, the Death Star will now be in range in 5, 4, 3. That's exactly my freaking thing. It's super nice because once you get the increasing range later on at level 16, as well as all of your other talents that kind of like synergize into it, you don't want to leave siege mode in the middle of those battles to have to move again. And people are not considerate about where you are. However, a really good talent if you're going against the Stitches, like if you're just solo queuing as Hammer, fortify position.
Yes. Definitely.
It's super nice. Good. Yeah. Stitches will throw that hook at you, and it'll just fall into the ground.
Yeah,
that's all it does.
Really
it does nothing.
Stitches or Diablo or anybody who's expecting to come up and move you to turn the fight, they're going to be in for a rude awakening. But oh god, it hurts so much to give up the hover siege.
I don't know why. I just feel so. I don't know, maybe I just feel vulnerable when I'm using hover siege. I just don't like the way it feels. I just feel weird when I'm doing it. I don't know why.
I love it.
You don't like those winds underneath your treads? It just makes you feel weird. You don't like it?
It's such a weird...
Like I said, I agree that I do it, that it's weird, and it's probably the wrong way to play her. I just can't get in the hover siege. I don't know why. Maybe it's because pre-patch so many bads did it, and it just, every time I see it, I just scoff.
Yeah, it's possible, honestly.
Before we move on, can we hop back to the second tier? Somebody was asking about excessive force.
Sure.
And why we skipped over it.
He says that the +1 range.
I also read that too.
Mode, but you don't.
Even if it doesn't, it's still a lot of useful for trading people.
You're going to be fighting in and out of siege mode, whether or not you have hover siege mode.
It's a mistake lots of people make when they get hover siege mode. They just think. Siege mode 24/7 now.
No, not at all. Not at all.
A lot of time out of siege mode. It's
that
still
extra range,
very good.
It helps.
That extra range, a lot better. Yeah, in lane it makes.
So good
until then, Sargent Hammer is so rough in lane, and a lot of people are gonna immediately say, "Well, in Heroes of the Storm, you're not supposed to be in lane that long." And I will agree that it's not as long as other games, but you're still going to be in lane. And even when you're like still trying to maneuver around and like get into a good position in a battle, and you don't have the ability to get into siege mode, that +1 range is going to save you so much.
And it happens a lot too. Siege mode is very situational. You have to be pre-prepared. You have to have your you can't get jumped on randomly and be like, okay, time to go siege mode, because siege mode requires preparation. You have to be ready for it, and it definitely helps a lot outside the fight. I like it a lot.
Also,
I did not realize it didn't affect siege mode, but even then,
that's true. I didn't know that either.
Even then,
it does affect you in siege mode. I know it does.
I thought for sure.
I know it does because I'll get the upgrade while I'm in siege, and I'll see it buff the range.
Yeah,
I know it does.
Buff the range.
Well,
yeah.
Even if it didn't buff the range, I still think it'd
still be good.
I would agree.
Yeah, I think that the other big thing here is too, but I mean it sort of goes in with what everybody else is saying. But the extra range gives you that much more leeway to hitting her talent or trait, I should say. So it's 4.5 range. I think you start with 5.5, or I forget what it is. So you have 1 range leeway. Now you have 2 range leeway to hit that extra. Steve is telling me that it does not affect siege range, but I'm pretty sure it does.
He says it does affect.
It does affect siege.
Oh, it does affect. Oh, sorry, I misread that. My bad. Okay.
Anyway, it would be a
buffer.
great talent at level 1, not so much at level 4 because Maelstrom shells.
Yeah, that would actually be a good change. If they just remove the level 1 talent and slap that in level 1, I would consider it. But
now here's a good question: if they were to buff ambush in the way that we were talking about, where it kind of recycles every 5 seconds,
I think it's too strong.
Would you put that at level 4?
Maybe then. Yeah, maybe that would be okay.
Right? That's an idea.
Okay. Yeah. I hear you.
Well, let's
like it.
Let's move on to heroics. I think we're all in agreement. Napalm Strike's the way to go.
Unless you're running Murky Siege Tank, and then you go BFG, and then Orbital BFG, and then you have the infinite, I am going to beat your palace down no matter what, and we just have to survive mode.
Yeah, but that's silly and don't do
It's
that.
actually really annoying. I don't know if you've run into it.
I've ran it. It's fun, but
anytime someone takes BFG, the game ends before level 20 because it's that bad. It causes their team to lose.
Oh god!
But Steve has brought up a good point. I've discussed this with him ad nauseum. The problem is now with the new with the way like the comeback mechanics works, most games are gonna get to level 20. Like there's a better guarantee that you're gonna get there. So if you feel like you're gonna need that extra push at the end of the game, there's a pretty good chance you'll be able to use it.
Even then, though.
I still don't like it. That said, I'm telling him
it's okay, arguably, yes, BFG has, like, there is a situation where you're going to be wanting, but no, Napalm Strike. It does so much.
The votes are pretty
It's very split.
I voted BFG as a troll there. Just want to throw that out there.
Oh, okay, great.
I think that the cooldown on BFG is kind of what deters me from it.
Yeah,
the cooldown's super long.
Is it 80?
That's what the tooltip says in the game. I don't know if that's right.
Yeah.
I haven't actually got it in a long time. The tooltip's often wrong in this, so
the cooldown should be like, and it's not a huge thing for them to. What is it? 45 really?
No, I think I should be 45.
Oh yeah, no, that would be good.
If it was 45, then I would actually consider getting it.
See, here's the thing though, like it doesn't even affect after level 20 that much. So is it really that big of a change to the late game? Not much. Like, because it's going to be cycling around, you don't even need to refresh it that much.
That's like if you're trolling and want to take down the palace, but being able to use BFG in a team fight, it does a moderate amount of damage. It's not
moderate.
Like,
you said it was a tickle machine. Change your statement. Explain yourself.
It does not do fantastic damage, but if you could spam it a bit more,
yeah, I agree.
I feel like it would be better.
Yeah, I think the thing they need to do there. I don't think I would like it if it spammed more. I don't really. I mean, like, all right. How about this? How about if instead of having an area of effect, more damage, napalm strike, you had a BFG that was like constantly, you could constantly shoot. Would you take that instead?
That would be OP.
Like not BFG damage right now.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But lower the damage, reduce the cooldown to 6 seconds. Now you have 2 6-second heroics that you could use. One of them is a giant shot like that, like BFG, and the other one's like Napalm Strike. The standard Napalm Strike right now, would you take that?
Well, no, that's not fair because you can still like siege up structures with it. It would be still way too strong because you could somebody could just sit and base the whole game and just fire down the lane.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Even then,
what if it only affected heroes?
If it only affected heroes, I like the area denial that Napalm Strike offers.
Yeah,
I think that's really the
Strike is
story.
good for everything. Like you
Jungling.
can build things with it, you can jungle with it, you can clear creep waves with it so fast.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
BFG is just lackluster, man.
And I mean, the other thing is like I also think that that Napalm Strike has more utility and is just more fun in general. So yeah, I mean, it gives you vision, like for siege mode. I don't know, it just has so many uses.
Yeah, I really like Napalm, but I was just throwing out ideas for BFG.
No, that's
how you could
interesting.
make BFG better without like making it OP.
What if it's just just damage was higher, but like not to structures? Yeah, it's probably too much of a stipulation.
I mean, it's supposed to be like imagine it's supposed to be like Falstad's laser, but Falstad's laser does way more damage, and you have to wait for the travel time of BFG, which I think is the biggest problem.
You can see it on the map.
If it was instant, yeah. If it was instant, yeah. And then the orbital one, I mean, again, it's a tickle laser, but you can't make it any stronger because if you do, then it's gonna like now you've put like a definite timer on how long your palace is gonna survive. So it's
like tickle laser.
Tickle laser TV.
Anyway.
Yeah. I mean,
I go with Napalm.
Napalm.
Yeah, same here.
It's just so good.
Yeah.
All right, level 13, guys.
Level 13.
Oh, this is gonna be one of those levels.
Yeah, we'll probably be discussing this one a little bit.
Sure.
I'll
take
start.
first strike.
If
I
there's
take first
only
strike.
one tank, I get first strike. If there's more than one tank, I get giant killer. I don't get the Crucio X2 cannon.
Oh my god! Somebody record this timestamp. I agree with Soya.
Boom!
Wow.
Oh my god!
I
agree with Soya.
Like that exact situation. Like if there's more than one tank.
Yeah.
Like everything down to the last
I
word.
always grab first strike unless there's another tank. Then I grab Crucio.
Wait a minute. That's not what he said.
Wait, what did he say?
He said he takes giant killer.
Oh wait, giant.
Yeah, he said it's giant killer.
Sorry, I missed that then. No, I grabbed Crucio.
He said he takes first strike, right? Unless there's a second tank, then he takes giant killer to get the extra damage.
We are misinterpreting each other. If there's a second tank, you mean if there's two warriors?
Two warriors, yes.
Oh,
if I'm going against another Sergeant Hammer, I grab Crucio because then I can outrange them.
I haven't thought of that, and I don't play Hammer enough for that situation to pop up.
It's
cute.
really annoying. I will say it's very annoying when there's another tank, and it's probably one of those weird matchup things. I would agree with that. Like, you do need to get that extra range because you can push them back. Like, you can literally just shove them all the way back out.
That's cute, Kev. I haven't thought about that.
I love that. I actually think that makes the answer even better.
When she was free, like, you would see a lot of tanks. So, like, when we were queuing up, yeah, that situation actually did come up fairly often, and you do need that extra range. It's very useful.
I had not thought of that. That's actually really cute.
I think Giant Killer is probably worth getting if they do have two warriors.
Do you get Giant Killer, Kev?
Nope. I still always get first strike.
Yeah, first strike definitely.
First strike.
The go-to option for the general situation.
I think that the damage of Giant Killer, once again, yes, if there's two, beefy warriors, then Giant Killer is really nice. But 25% damage to everybody, or
I think that's assassin way of popping out a bit too much there. I think if I was playing pure siege tank, I might not get Giant Killer, but I keep reverting back to Assassin Hammer.
Yeah, Battle Tank. That's what we're going to call it now. I think somebody...
I like that, actually. Battle Tank.
Battle Tank sounds good.
Can we talk about the wall? The barricade one? I really tried to make this work. I tried so hard. Because I was like, there's got to be something else to hammer, right? Because somebody's missing this. The barricade, it's so unique, right? It puts this wall down. It's like, I can't count the amount of times I screwed my teammates over by putting up this wall and they couldn't walk over. I'm like, this thing is useless. Like, why?
You try to incorporate it into, like, closing down the mines. So many different things, and it's just like...
I tried so hard. Everyone's like, please stop taking that ability. It's so bad. Please stop.
Maybe if, like, Blizzard releases a capture the flag map, then Barricade might work. But
oh my god, Warsong Gulch!
I know, it's so sick.
It's really funny because the guy that I argued on Reddit for the first time when we were all talking about Sgt Hammer before we figured out the battle tank build, this guy was like, I always grab the wall is amazing, and I got into game and I clicked it for the first time and I was like, I am never using this. I killed like 5 of my teammates easily. Right. I did exactly like you. It constantly killed me and the rest of my team, and I never picked it again. And solo queue, when Sgt Hammer is free, I just stay far away from the Sgt Hammer because I know they're going to pick that barricade.
It's ridiculous how silly it is.
The problem is, it just, like, it clashes so much with the actual, what the ability does. Like, it pushes them back. Maybe if it just put a wall on the other side of them that lasts for 4 seconds, that'd be cool. But it pushes them out, so it's like, oh, anything, you're screwing people over. And you're not helping. It's the problem. Because it pushes them on the other side of the wall, and they can just leave. It doesn't even do anything to pin people down. It's upsetting. It makes me angry.
Yeah.
Let's move on to level 16. I think we're all going to be pretty decided one choice on this, but... let's go ahead and, like, we all get graduating range, right?
Well, hold on. What about the knockback mines? Really? Are we just like, no way, or?
Well, I haven't tried them enough. I mean, I got them twice, and I wasn't impressed.
Mine builds are cute, but it's like a cute thing.
It's probably too random. Like, you don't know which way they're gonna
exactly.
Back, so.
Yeah, and if you're gonna go that build, you have to commit. I feel like you have to get all of the other mine talents as well to make it as efficient as possible, and then you just lose too much as.
Like, I could see it, like... No, I can't. I mean, I could see it being fun on Cursed Hollow or something, but I can't see it being better. That's for fucking sure.
They're not. It's
money in the bank. Sorry.
Money in the bank.
Very unlike me to drop an F-bomb on that. That was my first.
He is
I just want to go ahead. Pause.
Man, we're talking about all of Jake's firsts today.
I was at the Smash tournament. Just came out, I guess.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
I haven't said the F-bomb
go ahead, Jared, go ahead.
forever. I haven't said the F-bomb.
You've done very well, Joe. We're all proud of you. We're very proud of you.
Yeah, no. But seriously, I think graduating range is definitely what I go with usually. But I could see executioner working in certain.
That's what I want to talk about. I know we all take graduating range, but that 40% damage when you're doing siege mode, like. Is it possible, I haven't tried it because I think it wouldn't work, is it possible to make a brawly team fight siege mode hammer build work?
I bet it is. I'd love to see it happen, but I definitely could see that working for sure.
Like, you'd have to have the executioner comp built in. Like,
right.
You'd have to go in, like, let's all 5 do an executioner build comp. But do you think, like, I mean, graduating range is obviously going to be the optimal choice in most situations, but do you think there's a situation where you can be going siege hammer and take executioner and it work well, like just a super in-your-face hammer that's in siege mode? Do you think it's possible?
Yes, but you have to build around it with the rest of the team so much.
Yeah, that's what I'm
very
saying.
specific. It's possible. I think it is possible, but God, that range is just so nice.
Yeah,
no,
graduation
almost like it works almost better in like 95% of the situations.
I always want siege hammer.
It's certainly possible.
I just, I have not tried an executioner of siege Sargent Hammer. I mean, 40% damage is a lot, guys, and she does hit really hard in siege mode.
Oh, that's a ton, honestly. I mean, yeah, I'd love to see it. I'd love to try it. We should actually do it, honestly.
Okay. I'll try it out.
Yeah.
I have no problems. As soon as I get my World War III skin, I'll go try it out.
Are you buying it tonight?
I'm definitely buying it tonight. Are you kidding me?
I think I might buy the Rainer skin tonight.
But I think I whenever I grab graduating range, the one thing that always comes into my head is I hit 3 seconds into being in siege mode, or sorry, 9 seconds into being siege mode, and I'm already at +3, and I look down and I'm like, wow, look how much range. I have another 2 range that I still get?
That's the awesome part. Wow. Oh my god, it's ridiculous. I wouldn't be surprised if they toned it down. Like, it's so much range. It's insane. It really is just, it feels like too much range at times. You can be sitting like at where like the gate is and be hitting the palace as long as you have vision. Like, that's massive. That's huge. It's incredible. Like, oh, I love it. Best talent. It's amazing change. Yeah. Thanks, Blizzard. Thanks, Blizzard. Love this one. This is what makes Hammer amazing. Like, if she didn't have this, she would still be like mediocre. But I think she's like actually kind of moving up into like high tier in terms of.
Wow, you really think she's that high?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
She was always good before.
She was like lower end of mid tier probably.
Yeah,
I'd say she's on the higher end of mid tier. She was a very good assassin.
I don't know.
She was very, very strong as an assassin.
There were a lot of assassins that I would put above her.
Yeah,
not a lot.
Before the patch, there were definitely a lot more. There were, I mean, Bala, Kerrigan, Rainer.
She had her own little spot in the old patch. Like she was like a specialist that could really dish out some damage. Like you would still want to have 2 assassins, 1 specialist, 1 support, and 1 warrior. But now she's just her own specialist. And she's actually got more of a special feel to her instead of just being like kind of like a weird assassin specialist that she was before.
She's definitely bumped up quite a bit with this extra range thing. This makes her really hard to deal with later in the game.
Definitely.
Really super hard to deal with. Like, it's so
either
difficult.
Defending or offensive. Like she's just in a great spot. However, impromptu battles she really suffers, and that's the only thing.
Definitely.
If you get close on, it's going to be difficult.
If your map awareness is good and you have some idea when team fights are going to happen, a good hammer will make amazing use of this extra range over time. It's incredible.
Yep.
Best talent she has.
Finally, let's get into level 20. I mean, we all take the napalm strap upgrade. I mean, it makes it so much better.
I have to imagine if you're taking napalm, it doesn't make much sense. They've been arguing about this for like the last 5 minutes in chat, just about the level 20 already.
Okay.
So if somebody wants to read through that and see what they're saying, but
I love to go napalm strike. Improved napalm strike is really good.
Yeah.
But if you're solo queue, I always go resurgence.
Huh.
I don't have faith in my solo queue teams to keep me alive. So I go Resurgence, so I can get right back into the battle again. And that's the only reason.
That's fine.
I'm in Napalm Strike all the way, guys.
So, I mean, in my opinion, if Resurgence is an option, it is definitely always a viable option, no matter what hero you're playing, because it can be used in pretty much any composition. Definitely can see your argument for a solo queue, but I think if any hero has Resurgence, it's never going to be a no-brainer at level 20 as to which you get, because Resurgence is that good. But yeah, no, definitely Advanced Lava Strike would be what I go with otherwise.
Yep.
So how scary do you guys feel Orbital BFG is? Like, you guys ever actually scared? It's not scary.
It's trolly. It's trolly.
Too trolly. Steve loves it. He loves it. He swears by it.
I mean,
Steve's special.
It definitely has its place, I guess, but...
See, it's difficult. I really think it only works with, like, situations when you have a Murky and you're trying to, like, just kind of whittle away your opponent and just doing that really trolly type of build. I don't ever really see it, like, doing that much for your team.
If it was faster, like it rotated back into the map much quicker, I could see it being better, but it's like...
Yeah.
And then, like, 30 seconds later... But the palace already regened its shield, so...
It's 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds.
Yeah. Really? No, it takes 5 seconds from the point it leaves the map to when it respawns.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for it to actually go all the way around the map when you're...
Oh, yeah, it takes a lot of it. If you position it well, and some maps it's going to be better than others because of how they're shaped and everything.
Yeah.
But,
it's cute. I mean...
It is.
BFGs needs to be changed a bit for people to use them more.
Oh, can we talk about the Murky Hammer combo? How do you guys feel about this? Any experience with it?
I've run it.
I don't like it.
Me
it's so bad.
It's
trolly. It's funny. It's cute, but it's so bad.
You're so neutered in team fights. Like, you need people to protect you, and you need, like, all the CC and healing you get. When you don't have it,
if your enemy team is really bad, it's absurdly fun.
Yeah,
but I definitely don't think it's a viable, like, composition in competitive play for sure. No way.
Oh, definitely not.
Something like that.
Murky on his own
would be better than Hammer the combo.
Yeah. But it's still
Murky Hammer just kind of like, let me cut off both your legs before we go into this team.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I was just curious. You guys experience with that, but
I always thought, like, let's go ahead and, like, before we go to the commercial break, let's play where we place Hammer. Before, like, I was one of the hardcore enthusiasts of Hammer. I always thought she was a good option as an assassin. So I always had her mid-high tier, like the higher end of the mid-tier, and she's in the exact same spot. She hasn't changed at all. Where do you guys place Hammer right now? Kevin.
We're doing like a... Okay. Go ahead, Kevin.
Not like just a full tier list. Where, like, just, is she, like, top tier? Is she, like, kind of mid-high? Is she, like, where would you place Hammer right now in the current metagame?
Like, if I was to go over, like, S, A, B, C, D, I'm just going to do, like, a just bullcrap tier. I'd probably put her at A or B.
I'd say B if we were going by that tier.
S, A, B...
Yeah,
B plus.
B plus, yeah.
B plus.
Between B and A, that's where I fit.
She's, I mean, we're still feeling the game out. It's honestly, like, people are still figuring stuff out for sure, and especially after the new patch. Like, I don't know. I haven't played a ton. I've played a good amount, but right now she feels like a B plus. She could go up or down. People still figure out things with characters that break them and make them better, and different compositions that make characters seem a lot better than they actually are. But that execution build could make her A plus. Who knows? If somebody pulls it off well. So, but yeah, for now, B plus is what I'd say as well.
All right, well, guys, we're going to do a quick commercial break. When we get back, we're going to touch on the patch notes we kind of breezed over last week, talk about a few hero changes that we didn't get to really mention. Then we got Cooper's questions, and that's it. If you guys have questions for us, go to that Reddit thread over at r/Heroes of the Storm. Ask us questions. We'll answer them at the end of the show. We'll see you guys after this quick commercial break. Stay tuned. Wah. Welcome back, guys, to Town Hall. Let's just go ahead and... You know what? Kubi's questions. Let's do it.
Whoa!
Let's quack in the middle of commercial breaks. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Let's do Kubi's questions. I like doing that on the break.
Where's my animation? Do we have?
Where's my proper introduction, Jared?
Oh, excuse me. Guys, it's time for the Town Hall favorite segment of the day, of the lifetime, of the universe, Kubi's questions! There we go.
We need a theme song and like an actual like intro video.
Yeah, we really do.
Someday we'll get there.
Yeah.
Someday. Esports.
Maybe one of our viewers is so talented with the music business that he could be so kind.
So it was just gonna be an ice cream truck remix. I know it.
I would be amazed, and I would love that. I would also love that. All right, Kubi's questions. This is where I delve deep into the thought-provoking questions for the rest of the team. They have no idea what I'm about to ask them, so they got to come up with all this stuff on the spot. So I was thinking about what I could ask you guys, and I realized that we'd sort of been taking a theme to a lot of the questions in terms of maps. So I talked about Cursed Hollow. I think I had a Dragonshire one, and did I have a Haunted Mines one? Maybe not. Ooh, no, but we talked. No, did. Anyway, so today's theme, because I haven't mentioned it yet, and by process of elimination, it's Blackheart's Bay. A couple parts to it because there's a few interesting things about this map. But the first one that I would like to present to you guys is a scenario, because I love my scenarios, and I like to see the stuff you guys come up with for them. All right, so for this scenario, it's been a close game. Both teams are past level 20, and it's just down to 2 palaces on either side. Both teams have, I don't know, let's just say 19 out of 20 coins. So you got a team fight that's about to unfold at the turn-in spot. Now, one of the interesting things about the objective, I think, at this particular objective is the geography. Now, Jake, if you would be so kind as to open up the file that I sent you previously.
Damn, that preparation.
Oh, look at that, guys. I did my homework. All right, so that's it right there. That's what you're looking at. That's the area you have to work with. Now, if you think about a lot of the other, like the shrine that you get the dragon at, there's really nothing particularly interesting in the immediate area.
Question real quick.
Yeah,
why were you playing Murden?
Because he's awesome.
That muted Mike.
The call out.
Well, actually, you know what? It was really frustrating. I was trying to go through practice games because we don't have custom games, thanks Blizzard. I was trying to random to Blackheart's Bay, and I think it took me 12 games to random to Blackheart's Bay. So if somebody wants to figure out the math on how abysmal that is.
Somebody call Squishy.
Yeah, Squishy would know. All right. Anyway, so here's the scenario. Yeah, I already laid out the levels and everything is that. I want you guys to come up with some creative ways to make use of this fun little geography here to secure you the win. because I think that it's sort of underused.
You're talking about just like this little...
Yeah, this cool little... I don't know what you... It's not even really... It's like a W with some...
The quote-unquote jungle.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, because it is... you can't see inside of it unless you're in there. So I want you guys to come up with some fun things that would secure you the win here.
Okay, I got a good one.
Combinations of heroes. All right, go ahead, Jared.
Yeah, you stay, like, say we're to the right side. We're on the right palace. So you see that top right corner that's away from everything, that's not in the objective area? Stay there and make them come to you.
Wow.
Top right. Oh, you mean the top
He's
gap?
just saying here.
Yeah, just sit there. Don't go in there, Corey. Don't go in there. So, I mean, it's hard because it all comes down to comp, really.
There's a lot of really fun things you can do, though, because of the massive body blocking. So, I mean, one of the big things you can do is just have stitches and somebody else block somebody, and you can just hook across the way, grab somebody who, you know, if you're Corey, hopefully you don't grab a Tyrael. I'm still salty about that pick, like, so long. No, but seriously, you could grab somebody, hopefully an assassin or a support, and that's already, bam, you're already into a 5v4. Those are really fun things to do. I mean, Diablo, you can do like pretty much the same thing, just kind of like charge somebody in and lock them in into that area. Aside from that, it's a really good spot for Sgt Hammer. You know, if you have I mean, of course, we all pick the talent where you make the wall. You can sit behind one of those areas and make the wall, and then they can't come get you.
Oh, God.
He's joking, I hope, of course.
Yes, he's trolling.
Just so everyone's very clear on that.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jared.
Go ahead, Zoe.
I like Tanzim's answer. Send Murky, go back door, win.
Wow. That's...
I mean, it all comes down to comp. Like CSD points out, Gazlo, sit there, get the combo, win.
Yeah.
I mean, Stitches is obviously really good.
I mean,
I'm trying to get out of I know this is like all like...
Okay, all right, wait, but before you move on, I did come up with a comp that the other team has.
Okay, that would make things easier.
I decided on a Stitches, a Zeratul, Mouth, Gazlo, Rainer.
Oh, okay. So if that's the comp, then you do exactly what I said before.
You don't go in there. Yeah, you don't go in there for a set.
You don't go in there. If they make them engage on you.
Yeah, so that's their team. Let's say that they are positioned in like the upper corner. You know that they're all like running to this area, and you guys have the jump on positioning. Like, so let's say you're able to get like halfway into the jungle area. Do you do anything like wacky to try to disrupt this like very obvious wombo combo team here, or?
If I were to do anything, like say they're coming up from the top left. Wait, where'd you say they're coming from?
Up here.
Well, either side.
Doesn't matter. I would like, okay, so like there's the fog to like say they're coming from the top right. You got the fog to the bottom right, and then you got the fog like right by the Blackheart Bay. You like if they've got the Gazlo, you have to stay spread out. I would position teams like that and then jump on them as soon as like I'd immediately go for the Rainer. Like just dive on Rainer, kill him. Staying spread out though.
So what I tend to find this like jungle to be most useful for is when you do initiate up here, which is going to be the most common thing. It's useful for retreating and trying to pull them out of the battle. Now, yeah, you could definitely be a Stitches down there and pull somebody down to get them out of the battle, to you know, then you know, try to body block them or whatever the situation is. But I tend to find people like either one assassin's gonna wait in here and then ambush, or I just don't think it's worth like investing like a lot of people into this area to really try to make something specific happen. It's more to like get away and force them to leave their battle in order to secure the kill on you. Or you throw the one assassin in there to try to just jump out and just be like surprise and then gank whoever.
Okay. All right. Any other ideas?
It's like everything's situational. Like I'm trying to like keep out of my head like, well, obviously we've been getting kind of destroyed because you know this close. I'm trying to like ignore that. It's all just like hypothetical. I don't know. It's just. It all comes like positioning is going to like versus the comp you throw out there. Positioning is 100% key, and keeping that in mind, you can shut down that comp.
I think you know if you don't, or not basing a comp around this or anything. If you're in the position and you're just generic 5v5 team, I'm not even going to name any specific heroes. The assassin trick works the best probably. you just send one assassin out to kind of be like, oh, I'm just gonna go turn in a coin. Oh, look, I found your enemy team. All right, I'm gonna run away now. And you run away, and then all of a sudden, the rest of your team comes out, slams into them. I think that's probably like the easiest and probably the most reliable one that you could work on. It's just baiting, and then once the bait is set and once they go for it, just kill them. Other than that, it's really difficult without going into very, very, very specific compositions to really kind of answer this question.
Yeah.
It is an interesting thing to think about. Like, how do you set up around these terrains? And we came up with there's a lot of different things you really take advantage of that a lot of people don't really take advantage of. I mean, look at the horseshoe that's on Cursed Hollow, and that's a great spot to just get your first hook of the day in. And you get you have stitches on one side of that horseshoe next to Cursed Hollow, and you have stitches over here, and you have a little guy over here, and you're blocking both paths, and then you just hook somebody, and then they can't leave, and then they die. Same thing happens in Dragonshire as well. You can block somebody in, and those little things are very nice things and easy to do. So it's very difficult to answer the question without very specific compositions. Okay. But there are a lot of things that you can take advantage of the map that not many people really do, and I think we'll start to see that a lot more when people start becoming more comfortable with the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if that was personally their comp, I would have just gone and backdoored and not tried to fight there, because all it takes is one misstep, and that comp's going to beat you into the ground.
But at the same time, I mean, if that's their composition, and they do have kind of a wombo combo composition, it almost maybe encourages maybe putting one or two people into that area, because you don't want to be bunched up. That way, you're kind of spreading out. As long as they can pop out, heal, pop out, do whatever they have to do. I could see it maybe working, but at the same time, you're then prone to being picked off one by one. Even though they are a wombo composition, doesn't mean they can't fight. But they have stitches; they can just hook one person, blow them up. They can save their wombo combo. So it's hard to say, for sure, in that composition. It's just a matter of having a better engagement than them, and it could be used to your advantage for sure. But I definitely wouldn't want to put the whole team in there.
Agreed.
Okay. Follow-up question. Basically. So this is the main turn-in point, like I was saying. That's like the main objective point of the map. It is unique in the fact that it has this terrain. Do you guys feel like you would like to see Blizzard put more focus on these weird terrain pieces around large objective areas on each map? Because it's a little bit on Cursed Hollow. There are a few little weird spots that stitches can hook people into, or you can hook them over the wall. But for the most part, this is like the only really developed odd terrain spot on a map.
So
absolutely, we need a lot more of this.
Okay.
Let me talk about maps a little bit in general right now, because they just redid Mines. And I feel that Mines is by far the most fleshed out, most interesting map to play on now, and all the other maps feel kind of boring and dated. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like, I mean, I'm fine with Dragonshire, but like something about
with Dragonshire, what?
In terms of like the layout, and not necessarily the mechanics. I don't actually like Dragonshire, but in terms of the way that Dragonshire is laid out, and the way that the mercenaries are put in the map and the different lanes that you can travel between, I'm fine with Dragonshire. But something about Blackheart's, like, I just feel like there's so little jungle. Like there's a few vents here and there, but they're like through direct paths and stuff. There's like very few nooks and crannies in the map that you're not going to go look to. And maybe I'm saying this because I play a lot of Murky, and I find that like it's a big pain in the butt to put my egg anywhere on the map. But I don't know. I just feel like it's a less diverse map that with like there's less options to like ambush someone, less like options, like the mercenaries aren't like really out of the way. They're just kind of in lanes of travel.
I mean, every map doesn't need to have ridiculous ambush points. I mean, there needs to be diversity.
Well, that's true.
I like those type of spots. I like the fact that you can develop a strategy around those kind of places, and I don't know. I think I've seen people post this on Reddit a few times, and I'm not trying to steal it. I don't know who's all said it, but I think the balance and the life of this game is going to depend on maps and stuff like that. It's all going to be map based, and I mean, I like these kind of things, and I hope we see more of them.
There's I think the allure to all of this game so far is that every map is different, and every map deserves and has these compositions that work better than everything else. I mean, you look at the other MOBAs and they kind of have the same maps that are in competitive format, whereas this game, we would like to have these types of different things that can take advantage of different compositions, and different compositions work better here, and maybe other compositions will be able to counter those compositions in different parts of the map. And I think that should be really celebrated and kind of encouraged from Blizzard, because these types of things make the game interesting. It's not going to be the same game time and time again. I mean, look at StarCraft 2, or StarCraft Brood War, where you have different maps, and these different maps completely balance the game in a different way. Whereas a huge map, Zerg is going to do really, really well because they can take a lot of bases. But if they have a certain amount of ramps, then Protoss is going to do even better. These little things that kind of make every little map different and little change how everybody kind of approaches them makes it a very interesting game to watch constantly.
Agreed.
Very good. Any other points on this particular discussion idea?
I mean, maps are going to make or break the... Well, make or break's pretty brutal, but maps are definitely the future.
So,
and
yeah,
I'm
I mean,
looking forward to more.
I feel like all the 4 maps, I mean, from what we understand, they made them pretty quickly. And I just can't wait to see the next map they come out with. Like, I feel like it can't be that far off. And I think they're going to have something really cool. Like,
it was Blackheart's Bay that they said they just made like a week, like 2 weeks before BlizzCon, right?
No, I think it was Dragonshire.
Yes, you're right. It's Dragonshire.
I think it was Dragonshire.
And Dragonshire, yeah, it's like probably my least favorite map, but it's not like poorly designed and like horribly broken and stuff. Like, I can't wait to see like a map that Blizzard spends like 6 months on and really flushes out the details.
I mean, as a big like Blizzard nerd, I just want like Arathi Base and Warsong Gulch, something like
Warsong Gulch.
I want to go to Ire. I want to. Yeah, like New Tristram, like you name it, like just stuff like that's gonna be really, really cool. So
give it time, son. Give it time.
Yeah. I don't know. The thing is, though, once they give us something like Warsong Gulch, I'm like, you can't take this away. You cannot take this away.
Yeah, that's the one thing that they definitely can't do. Is, I mean, the one thing that's the worst about League of Legends is they give you a map and you're like, everybody's having so much fun, and they're like, yep, it's gone now, bye. Yeah. And I just don't want that to happen.
So if they retire maps, though, the thing is, though, even though it might not be on the ladder, it'll still be accessible like StarCraft 2, I'd imagine. If they don't do that, if they don't have a custom game option where that would be awful. Because, and I don't play League, but they remove maps, so you just like literally can't make a custom game on it. Like, you can't do anything.
Well, so they have like different game modes, like everybody has to play a single character, or
ARAM. Okay.
You spam everything and you don't have any mana cost, and they like kind of like give it for a couple minutes, and then they take it away after a week or two. That's what's really.
Blizzard already hyped up the custom game system they're gonna have, so that's gonna be it.
So I mean, once they retire maps from the ladder, that's one thing, but maybe they'll have like some kind of other ladder that's all maps.
Throwback Thursday. Blackheart Day is back.
Yo, that'd be awesome. That'd be so hype. Like,
Steps of War is back.
Oh god, no, that wouldn't be hype. Bunker tank. Yeah, I don't know.
It'd be funny if like the towers were so close that they were like right next to each other, and they just shoot each other as soon as the match starts.
Just to give some context for people that didn't play StarCraft 2 or watch it competitively, Steps of War was a very, very, very small map that came out with StarCraft 2. The original launch, and basically Terrans would just build bunkers and tanks and just slowly push forward until you die. Yeah, so that was bad.
Very sad,
My first 50-minute game was on that map.
Why is that a purple kappa? I've never seen that before. Grape kappa? Delicious.
Violet's turning violet.
So, I don't know. Those are my thoughts.
Okay, very good. All right, I think that wraps up Kubi's questions. I'm sure we have some other stuff to discuss, yes?
Yeah, so we breezed over a lot of the patch notes. I don't want to like kind of reread everything. Is there something, you guys, that we did not talk about last week? Like, I want to bring up specifically my pre-patch heroes, Witch Doctor. He's much better now. The changes to him I like a lot. There's little small things you can do now. Before you couldn't cancel Ravenous Spirit. Now you can. So like sometimes you were channeling it and it's like, oh, I'm being killed by Zeratul. Oh, I can't do anything. Ah, and then you die. So you can now cancel that. They increased the movement speed of him to balance the movement speed buff to all the heroes. So now the spirit can chase better. He's still a little bit harder because with the movement speed increase, it's hard to land the W's.
I like how you called that immediately the day they changed it as a Witch Doctor main. You called that like, bam, he's bad because movement speed, and they fixed it. So that's good.
They fixed it. I'm happy. I haven't got a chance to play him again, but I think this week I'm going to play a lot of Witch Doctor.
I hope you fall in love again, because that would make me happy.
He was my favorite hero for the longest time.
Yeah, you were all about him. You really were.
And then that patch kind of killed him. But now he's I played with Tim a lot, and he plays Witch Doctor quite a bit. And I mean, I've seen people trying to play a Gargantuan, especially like LZ Gamers crew. They try and make that work. I still don't know how I feel about it. I will play with it a lot this week, but
I don't think it's worthless, but.
It's not worthless. It's definitely better than before. I just still don't know how I feel about it. But Witch Doctor is much better again, and I love the changes to him.
The most annoying thing that I ran into the other day, and I think it was only really annoying because I was running in solo queue, was a Witch Doctor who grabbed Gargantuan, and Abathur would then clone the Witch Doctor, and they would have two Gargantuans pushing with Knights.
Oh no!
And this happened twice.
Oh.
It was pretty brutal. I think it was a funny thing to see. But speaking of that, let's talk about Abathur, because they changed him too.
Yeah.
I think they made him. All they did was make him weaker in the early game, but he scales. I didn't actually do the math, but late game he should be about the same, right? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
The scaling is better, but
The scale. I mean, yeah. Basically, the scaling kind of is fixed to be a lot better now.
The early game is actually weaker.
Yeah, early game, because he was really strong in the very early game. Like, you were in a level 1 engagement, Abathur actually changes a lot. So, who knows? I don't really know. I haven't played him since then, so I don't. But I can definitely tell you that going against an Abathur shield right now, later on in levels, is actually really scary when I really didn't mind about that much. But now, in the earlier games, it's just kind of feels like the same as it is later on in the game.
I'm going to be kind of extreme here. I said it earlier, actually, today, to you and Idra. I think Abathur might be one of the least played heroes in the game. We'll see how this free hero week goes. And I think he might be one of the worst heroes next to Muradin right now. I really dislike Abathur. I don't think he does enough. He is very very specifically situational to where he'll actually do something considerable, and most of the time that's when he's using his heroic on a certain hero.
Yeah.
Outside of that, though, it's like, oh wow, in a 2v1 situation, that Abathur really kind of like made it hard to lane against this guy. But I don't know what it is. I just
No, you know what it is he had a lot of utility in Bribe. And I think once they nerfed Bribe, Abathur's his effectiveness just went down the drain.
So what if he got a special bribe? That was
I can't give him a special bribe. No, he was very good. The bribe was because he could collect double bribe. I think that's
but it allowed
a lot of people.
It allowed him to split push a lot more.
That was cute, but it still didn't make him top tier or even mid. He's always felt weak to me.
They've given special talents to different people. Look at Tychus's Giant Killer. Tychus's Giant Killer is only 0.5 instead of 1.5. I don't think it would be too terrible if they were to give him a special bribe. I'm not sure if I don't know if that would fix him. Is the issue?
I feel he's just so weak. Even with I've played with good Abathurs. LZ Gamer is a really solid Abathur.
Even when you play perfect with him, it doesn't feel that good. I think that's a problem.
Good Abathurs will have mines everywhere, and they'll be constantly pinging between people using symbiote. And they'll always pick the right hero in the perfect situation to use their ult on. And even then, Abathur just doesn't feel like enough. And I don't know what Blizzard can change.
One thing I like about Abathur is he's a good Murky Hunter, because you can snipe the egg. So I think that's kind of a cool thing. You use the mines to snipe the egg from anywhere. But so I think that he would be an interesting counter pick in competitive play for that sense. You could just kind of shut down Murkies or really slow down a Murky, or at least give him a lot of trouble. But at the same time, I mean, that's such a direct, unique counter, and Abathur really just needs some fix somewhere for sure.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't know what they could fix about him though. Is the only issue. They just had to nerf all of his symbiote stuff. So what now? Like,
there's cute little things you can do, like making maybe the poke when symbiote. I forget what it's called. The little Q when you're in symbiote mode. Maybe if you like made that pierce, like little things like that, like just kind of tweaking him here and there. But even then, he just feels.
I feel like they're gonna have to be really creative and find a second heroic for him, because he's the only hero with a single heroic right now, and that's kind of like an inherent problem that limits him right now. And now, granted, once you have his heroic, you become any other hero and you have all their heroics, so you can say, oh, he has plenty of diversity in that regard because he gets one of 4 heroics in that game. But I still think the character is.
What if?
I don't know.
What if with his heroic, they added something? Because like when you use the heroic on like a demon hunter, you just become the demon hunter. What if like, and when you use it on a carrier, you become a carrier. And when you use it on such, you become. What if like, depending on which like hero class, whether it's warrior, assassin, specialist, you got a like. It would also like when you use this on an assassin, you get X buff, like your damage is increased. When you use this on a warrior, your life is increased.
I don't really think that they should emphasize the clone as much, because then you're not really playing Abathur. You're playing another character with a small buff, and just.
But he's the evolution master. He's all about like breaking down DNA. So he's becoming, another creature.
But even then, like I feel like it's just.
I figured out how to fix him. He needs to be a lot like Frieza. Right, like level 6, he gets his next form, and he like his locusts start to get a little bit better inherently. His poke becomes better, and at level like 13, he becomes the second to last form, and at level 20, like I don't know, but he just needs to scale better throughout the game. I feel
that'd be interesting. That'd be interesting if these locusts actually evolved to be different. They became like little. What if they became like little zerglings or little roaches or something? Oh god!
Like said, when you said he's the evolution master, that's what kind of thing. Like,
well, I mean, that's what Zagara's going to do
throughout the game.
Well, that's
right,
true. Yeah.
Right. So how much are we stepping on Zagara's toes? Well,
when you play Heart of the Storm,
I'm going to be quite honest right now. I think Zagara is like the second iteration of Abathur.
Yeah, definitely. But in Zagara,
every specialist is
Zagara having Zagara has Nidus. And Zagara, let's just do the preview. For people that don't know Zagara is the queen that they're adding into the game. They showed her off at PAX East, and they haven't really officially announced her abilities, but they kind of showed them off. She can shoot a line of Banelings. She can summon 2 Hydras for her W. Her E is, I think, the creep tumor. Her passive is she actually spreads creep on the ground, so you can actually use the creep tumor like StarCraft 2 and spread creep, which gives your entire team a movement speed buff while on the creep, and it gives you vision. So this is really, really good for. I mean, I assume that the enemy heroes can just destroy the creep tumors. They have to be able to. That has to be really easy to remove. But then one of her heroic abilities is actually Nidus. So you can actually just go from lane to lane and shoot Banelings at their towers and just summon Hydras, and it's just like kind of like crazy split push. And I imagine that if she has Bribe, like, oh my god, it's gonna be so fun. But so yeah, I mean, if we do kind of build Abathur to be more like that, where he is evolving and getting upgrades to his locusts and stuff. I mean, you can already build him to be a locust build, but it's not that good. Like, do you guys ever build him to be locust? It's turning into like a full Abathur segment. I like it, but it's fine. It's
fine.
I
mean, I do. I've gone locust a couple of times in the very, very beginning of stages of Heroes of the Storm. I don't know how that is now. I haven't really played Abathur that much, honestly. I really never really liked.
I played him a lot.
Before the game released, I was like, Abathur's so strong. He's so good because at BlizzCon he was OP.
That's what we all said. He's going to be broken.
But now I don't really like him that much.
I think he's the second weakest hero in the game.
Yeah, no, I think
maybe even worse than Murden.
I would put him below
I feel like
Murden.
they just need to find better ways to help heroes and evolve those heroes instead of just constantly being another hero.
I like the evolution.
He needs to evolve through the game. Like when Jake said he is the evolution master, he needs when you played Heart of the Storm, your Kerrigan's army was evolving through the game.
Right, he evolves the army. He doesn't evolve himself.
Well, yeah.
So how do we make that work? Like how do you make
when you symbiote? So going off Jared's idea, how about something like this? Like when you symbiote, there's the second your second ult is now. Whenever you symbiote somebody, maybe depending on what class they are, they get different traits. Like all assassins damage. You know, like anytime they hit a target, they blast, and you know it's like Baneling artillery or something. Who knows? And then warriors, every time they take damage, they gain more resistance to damage.
I like this.
And then
I said about the heroic, but putting on symbiote.
Right?
Exactly.
Like
you turn the symbiote into a very customizable thing.
Right.
To the point where you're actually evolving them, and maybe it's
that's a good point, because
I like that. I like that a lot.
When you have Abathur on you, like when I'm playing Demon Hunter and Abathur jumps on me, I'm like, okay, I get a shield now. Yeah. Awesome. You don't really you don't feel like Abathur's a part of me.
You want to go Super Saiyan. You want to be like, Bob.
So that's a good idea, Kevin. I like that a lot.
Well, see, the thing is, when Abathur goes on you now, you feel like I need to put myself in position to make Abathur useful. But now it would be like if Abathur's on me, like, oh, cool, I'm more useful myself. So it's like you're not like forced into like what Abathur needs. It's what you need.
And that's kind of cool. When you play with a new player, the number of times when you go on someone as Abathur, they just run. You want them to feel like they can be aggressive. And I think, like, you know, maybe that's just because they're new players or what, but I think having that extra incentive of showing them, like, make their character a little bit, I don't know, do something to make their character look cooler than just this thing above their head that makes them feel like they've been powered up to some extent so that they can rush them down. Because there's nothing more frustrating than going on a random player that you don't know and then just having them run away and then having to go on another player. Just, I get so bored playing out with there in solo queue. It's just like the most...
Oh yeah, it's
an awful experience. Like playing with a friend is great, but it's just really awful with randoms. It's like I'd rather play with computers because I know they're gonna go kill themselves at least a little bit. So
yeah.
Yeah. Nope. I mean, who knows? I don't really know what they want to do with him just yet because he's such a. It's a lot of the specialists other than like Sgt Hammer because it's easy. It's just range and damage.
He's in a weird
place. The other ones are difficult.
All right, let's talk about Jake, Mr. Brightwing range, or Brightwing main. The nerf to the damage and stuff. How are you feeling about it right now?
I think it's fine. I think it was expected. Honestly, Brightwing is still an incredibly good hero. I felt that she was. You think she's bad?
I think she is second worst support.
Holy crap! You're bad in this game. Oh my gosh, she is wonderful.
Wait, so you're saying Brightwing is as good as Malfurion, Uther, Tassadar, and Lily? Is that what you're saying?
In a very, very different sense than them. Now, I think Brightwing doesn't. She should. I don't think that she should be. I don't think that she should be a lone support. She adds a lot of sustain. Now, but she. I mean, Polymorph is better than the Entangle. I think.
Let me rephrase before things blow up. She is good at what she does, and like you said, she can't be a solo support. But what I'm just thinking, support. You can carry a team as an only support as Malfurion, as Tassadar.
Blink heal is amazing.
It is good. Right? No, I'm not saying she's bad.
Blink heal is amazing. Her pulse heal is still very good, and once you get the rains, regenerative rains, she heals a lot. Now she doesn't have as much burst healing, but that's what makes her unique. And I think she has so much sustain because she doesn't cost any mana to do any of her healing. So I definitely think she's up there, but I think she again, you want to have a Malfurion with her. You want to have You want to have somebody that has a lot of healing at once. She's definitely better than Tyrande. I think she's right around this. I mean, they buffed Lily, so maybe Lily did go over her. I don't know, but I think they're still right around each other. I do think that Uther and Malfurion are easily the best two in the game.
Tassadar.
Tassadar is up there. But, I mean, yeah, he has the shields, and yeah, he has the CC, but I actually would put Brightwing above Tassadar. I would. As a support...
That wall, though. As
a support, I would.
You are... I'm saying
I would
fucking high.
Disagree with you there, Jake.
It's happened. You are high, Jake.
I don't know. I think
I don't agree. Okay, so here's the problem with Brightwing is she doesn't... The sustained healing is okay, but it's not targeted to the point that it's actually useful. Her traits are good and soothing and regen mists. I mean, think about it. If you go through a full rotation QWE, you could probably get with the proc of the trait, it's probably 400 healing in the area around you. But then you compare that to something like at level 10, that's 400 some health, and then but at level 10 you look at just a standard regrowth, and that's 450 over 10 seconds and 180 instantly.
But you guys have seen you've seen the way I play Brightwing, the way that you can get the shield on the teleport, and the fact that she can be anywhere on the map.
You're taking worse, like one of the worst supports bad. She's not bad at the game. She's just not near as good as other. Like
she has so many different things. She can be anywhere on the map. You get the shield from her Z, and then you get shield ally. It's still amazing. If you have map awareness, there's so many clutch situations where you can just roll the enemy in a 1v1 situation and just turn the tide, save your hero, and just obliterate them. And then, honestly, I think that if you're a good Brightwing, she is easily on the same level as the other ones. Now, maybe not in a direct team fight. Maybe she doesn't have the same kind of utility right in the front, but you have to play very safe with her. She's all about positioning. She's all about saving your polymorph for that that ETC mosh pit. She's all about making the right decisions and just kind of standing back and then just kind of casting your abilities and keeping everyone kind of topped off a little bit, and then your team has to initiate. I don't know. I think she's amazing. I've had ridiculous success with her. Like,
she's not bad, but she's not amazing.
I think she's up there.
I don't know. I don't know where I tier her, because you're right. Polymorph is really good.
Shield ally, the shield on her Z, her mobility, like she's got so much going for her. She really does.
It's the thing. I still feel like she's lacking somewhere, and I know like she's got all these advantages, but just somewhere she just doesn't feel like she's just as good as the other.
That's
hero.
why you build her with her E shield can block. I usually just get it for the speed and the one shield. I don't really buff that too much. Her E. So you're blocking one auto attack. It doesn't sound that much, but they're going to get out. You have shield ally on that, they're going to get away. And once you have regenerative range, you're casting those abilities, you're healing even more on top of that. So you can save people. Like, if you need to get someone up in a pinch, you can just save them for sure. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I see where you're coming from, but I also see where Zoya's coming from. I don't know where she sits right now. She's still better than Tyrande.
I want to ask.
That's it, though. That's it. She's only better than Tyrande.
I think she's better
compared to the other supports.
I think she's better than Zeratul.
There's always. I just feel like there's always.
Not Zeratul. Tassadar. Templars. Templar things.
I feel like there's always a better. There's always a better support pick.
Like I start to kind of listen to what you're saying, and like she moves a bit, and then you say that she's better than Tassadar, and like it's like you're spewing poop out of your mouth. Like I just stop listening.
all right, hold on. We don't need to go there. But
how much have you played Brightwing?
I played Brightwing a lot when she first came out. I played her multiple times in CSD's tournament. That's how much I was playing her.
Oh,
I played her a lot. Like, she's not like people like when you say she's one of the worst supports. Like people get like oh, that means she's bad. No, she's not bad. Just because she's one of the worst of something doesn't make her bad. Just everything is just so much better.
See, but as a support with direct healing, why is Tassadar better than her? Like if we're talking,
Tassadar is pure utility. He's got a slow. He's got multiple slows. He's got a force wall. His shield is ridiculous, and he's impossible to kill. He's got.
You look at Tassadar.
No, trust me. I know Tassadar is very good. I'm definitely not.
No, but I mean, like you look at something like Tassadar shield, and here's the thing: is that if you have Kala's Embrace, and you go into a battle at like level 10, and you have Kala's Embrace, and they just have half shields now because of Kala's Embrace. You've mitigated well over 1,600 damage to your team entirely.
Wow.
Like, just ignoring his trait, or not ignoring his trait, it can save your team's life. Like, let's press D here, and then we see that we're about to get ganked, and we can, throw on a force wall or something.
Sorry, 1,500 damage.
I just think, again, I mean, my final statement is that I think Brightwing has a different kind of utility. She definitely lacks a little bit compared to other heroes when it comes to direct team fights, especially before level 10. But once you have why can't I think of what it's called?
Blink kill.
Yeah.
Blink kill. Yes, I heard you say moon kill for some reason. I don't know. It's been a long show already. Yeah, I just think that she does kind of compare, because blink heal is amazing. But she's a different kind of healer. I think she's better to have maybe a Sargent Hammer solo pushing up top, and Sargent Hammer gets in a bad spot, and then you can go on top of her. I think she kind of reinforces a split push kind of composition and excels in that regard. So she kind of fills a different role, and I like to run split push compositions. That's my favorite way to play the game. And playing a Brightwing with a team that does that is just super, super fun, and it's been extremely successful the way I play the game. So I think she has her spot for sure, but I see I definitely do think that it's a no argument that Tassadar. Well, I would say Mouth and Uther are definitely 1 and 2, but I would say that I really do. I mean, Lily, Tassadar, and Brightwing I think are all around the same area.
Nope. Lily.
I agree completely. I completely agree.
Lily is tier above every other support.
I haven't played her at all yet.
Have you played against her? Because she's ridiculous.
I can't believe
you can't kill her. You
guys think Tastavar's not that great. He is
Tastavar's very good.
God tier. He's still up there.
I don't think he's God tier. He doesn't come close to Lily.
I disagree.
I don't think he comes close to Lily. Lily is right now on a league of her own. And then I think after that is probably
Mouth and Tassadar are God tier. Uther and Lily are tier A.
Tassadar, then Mouth, Uther, and Brightwing.
If you have a Lily Mouth on the other team, good luck killing anybody.
It's
never gonna happen. They're the 2 best supports.
I haven't.
I bet you bottom dollar that's only it's because they're innervate and the mana that synergize together. Mouth by himself is not as good.
Together all the time. It's incredibly difficult to kill anybody.
If I had one support in my entire team, I would rather have a Lily than I would a Mouth.
So let me tell you something. There's only one support in the game that is a beautiful pink butterfly with a crown. All right, and that's Brightwing. So
this is not fair because you can't pull up. We can't pull up like Mech Tassadar.
Okay, yeah, because that's so sick.
I love my Brightwing.
Anyway,
Jared, it sounded like you were fuming over there. Comments, concerns?
Ask Ketchum is about to evolve into a Charizard.
Let's save for a future show because I can. Yeah. I think we can argue about this forever. It's already
that's
really
true.
late.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know. It just blows my mind that you guys rate Tassadar so low.
I put him up pretty high.
Okay, so okay, whatever. All right, we'll come back. We'll come back to this because we're going to be here for like an hour arguing about the different supports.
We could probably argue for a while.
I'm gonna play a ton of Lily this week to get a good feel for her.
You don't even need to play Lily. You just need to play against Lily, and you'll pull your hair out. That's it.
I honestly think
Is that where all your hair went, Corey?
Yeah, that's where all my hair went. Seriously.
Bruce Willis.
Fucking Bruce Willis status. Oh my goodness.
Bruce
Willis. My first impression of the new Lily though is just like they really need to reduce like her passive to like 15% instead of 20%. I think it might be too good.
Good luck killing her.
Yeah, that's why I think it's a little too short.
So, any other big changes? I mean, Falstad's Afterburners got changed a bit, I think.
Yeah. Nothing really major.
Gazlo's bombs are better, which is cool. I haven't played with them enough to be like how much better, but it's definitely a change that was needed. You can cast.
Oh, go ahead. I'm gonna finish. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
No, because I was gonna talk about a different hero. So.
Let's go then.
No, I was just going to say the most impactful one, and I don't think anyone saw it coming, was the Lily change. Like, how much of an effect that would have. Just being able to heal herself.
A lot of people.
Oh, I knew it was going to be a major change.
I looked at that, I was like, oh, that's neat. That makes her a little better, but I was like, oh my god, like, this is ridiculous.
I knew that was going to massively change how she played.
Yeah. I just didn't think it would make her that good. Like, that's strong, like, that impossible to kill.
So, let's... one last thing I want to bring up before we can, like, go to viewer questions and end the show. Everyone goes leap now on Barbarian. They made it to where Wrath, like before, when you went Wrath of the Berserker, you had the ability to toggle it on and off. You can't do that anymore. When you use Wrath, it will go until it burns all your fury. You can't turn it off anymore. Which I think that makes that old or heroic much worse. I don't understand that change. It's going to be.
Let's give it less utility. Yay!
The only good thing about it was
I think probably because people were accidentally canceling it by hitting R again or something. Like if you hit R really quick into session or something, you might hit. You might accidentally cancel it. Maybe that's something that people were doing a lot and people were complaining about. I don't read the BattleNet forums because I like my time, but it's possible. So what's like people were complaining about?
Yeah. They need to give that thing like a 20%
actually quick little things and quick little adjustments to Uther that I wanted to bring up. They took the damage away from Holy Light, and Hammer of Justice does less damage, which makes him a lot less difficult to deal with in lane. Because he can just out heal you and almost out damage a lot of people as well. So I really kind of find that he's a lot easier to deal with than he was before. So that's why I don't actually put him as high in the tier list than most other supports.
He's definitely fallen off quite a bit. I think he might be the most changed hero in game at this point.
Bunker.
Bunker. No.
He's the current bunker.
I still think that
Murky
Murky's going to be a bunker. And
Murky's definitely going to be a bunker, but I think for now...
Uther, I think, has been changed quite a bit.
He's still very good, but
he's still good. He's definitely a tier A now. He's not God tier anymore.
Yeah,
But,
I would agree with
he's
that.
still very good. Okay, well, I don't think there's any other big changes. Next week, let's talk a lot about Haunted Mines. Like, just really, really talk about Haunted Mines.
Yeah, okay.
Can we actually just, like, talk about Tyrande really quick? Like, the Hunter's Mark is a really nice change, but I still feel that she's really lacking as a support. And what do you guys think?
That's because she is not a true support. She is a hybrid between support and assassin. Her damage gets pretty crazy if you build her properly.
So do you think that's a good thing? Do you think it's good that we have the diversity?
Yeah, I like that. I like that they have
diversity.
hybrid characters like Tyrael.
But the thing is, like, instead of going like, we need a little bit of an assassin and a little bit of support, so let's go Tyrande. How about you just rebuild your comp and then have like a Malfurion and then an assassin? Like, she
doesn't have Executioner, does she?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, her damage is much better.
I still see her working in an Executioner build, though.
She is definitely better than before. She's still the worst support. I wouldn't call her bad, but she's it's like right on that line of, is she bad or is she good? Like, she skates that line.
I don't think she's that good, actually. I still don't.
I've never felt like I had a huge impact on a battle as her, honestly.
She just needs to heal more. A little bit more burst than the heal, I think, would go a long way.
I think Shadowstalk is one of the coolest heroics in game. I think
it's
it's
great.
so much
I like
stuff.
it, yeah.
It's
I don't know,
great.
but she's like, compared to even the second worst support, Brightwing, she's really bad.
Wow.
Damn. Well,
I love you.
I look forward to hitting you on the ladder and bodying you with my Brightwing.
What?
Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck. Yeah, I mean, she's... Let me be honest, the Hunter's Mark change is awesome.
It's great.
Yeah, I love it. It's definitely the stuff.
I agree with Kev. She's like, not... I don't know. She's lackluster.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have one viewer question written down. Let's.
You have one?
Yeah.
Is it from Fred Zombie?
As the game moves out of alpha and into beta and
cool.
release, what do you guys think the patch release cycle should look like?
Ooh, how often they should patch it?
How often they should patch? I mean, Blizzard has always been very patient with their approach, like especially in StarCraft 2. They like to wait things out. And that's really the best way to do it.
Especially with the bunker.
Especially with the bunker. I mean, they shouldn't jump the gun. Like, there's been so many situations, like, especially in Heroes, like, I'm trying to think of one specifically where something was considered bad. Like, okay, let's talk about Sgt Hammer. For the longest time, people just, like, Hammer's bad, Hammer's bad, Hammer's bad, and then people finally kind of started to learn how to play her. And because of that, actually, even better, let's talk about Malfurion. Malfurion was the worst hero for the longest time. And now he's arguably the best support in game. Guess how many changes Malfurion has had since the game went live?
Is it 0?
It's 0.
Nothing impactful if they did anything. So one thing that Blizzard has done in the past, which is really, really good, is in StarCraft 2 they released test maps. They release maps with proposed changes that allow people to hop in and try it out and get a feel for it. And I think they're just going to keep that mentality where they really just kind of let things kind of work out. And if there's a huge, overwhelming response that something's wrong, they make a test map with proposed changes, and then they adjust it from there if needed. And I think that once we're actually in the beta and out of the alpha, they're going to be a lot less gung ho. It's not going to be not going to be a huge list of patches every 3 weeks or something like this.
Yeah, and even then, like look at the first initial response from Murky. Like the first 2 days Murky was out, like
the fire's been put out.
Forums, like it was like, oh wow. Now Murky is kind of like a novelty.
Yeah, people figured out how he works. He's still a little irritating to fight against, but people definitely aren't crying about him anymore. That's for sure. I honestly think he needs a buff. Buff Murky.
Buff Murky. Hashtag
I'm gonna punch you in the face next time I see you. No, I mean, I agree. But the stigma so far with MOBAs is to change often. Especially with, I mean, you can see League of Legends and Dota kind of push out patches often. I do think that they need to wait. StarCraft 2 is a very different beast compared to a MOBA, though. That's one thing you really have to take in consideration, is that StarCraft 2... I mean, look at StarCraft Brood War. Look at how much was changed just from maps. Maps change a lot more than the actual patches. Well, sorry, I shouldn't say a lot more, but maps have another impact, and so custom maps kind of started to help balance out StarCraft without having to worry about things. Whether or not that's going to work in Heroes of the Storm is a good question, because we're going to have multiple maps and possibly a map editor. But it's going to be interesting to see how they patch, because now they don't have to worry about items, which you buff for change one item, you have to now adjust for every other hero in the game. Now you just have to worry about talents.
There's so many things that can change that, though. Like, you brought up League of Legends, they patch options. That's because they add heroes like all the time, and like a hero can cause effect to bring change to another like character in game. Like if you release like Malfear, like say like Malfear comes out and like he's comboed with X hero, this X hero becomes exponentially better, and then people start playing with that, like, you know, meta things changes the game. Like, I mean, it's all going to be a buy feel thing. I mean, more than often than not, the best way that Blizzard should go about it is be patient. But when something is like ridiculously obvious, like first week of the alpha, it was very clear Uther was just ridiculously stupid and broken.
Yeah,
they fixed that very, very quickly. Those are the things they should hotfix, but the patience is the best. Because what if they would have like buffed Malfurion? Now he would have been like, what?
Yeah, that's true.
It changed a lot.
My question is, like, what is the rate in which new characters are added to League of Legends and Dota?
I think it's once a month.
Once a month, and Dota, well, those hit pauses. Specifically, Dota, I think, was paused for like 4 months around TI last year. I think somebody was grabbing about, and then something like League hits long periods around when they do their World Champs. It's, about every month.
So
I'd be fine with every
average.
month.
On average, like okay, so every month. I feel like we might see clusters in the future. I could be wrong. I could just be hopeful, because the hero count isn't nearly as high. And we've seen so many models of characters that come out. But in regards to the question about patches, I feel like when they're releasing maybe a hero every 2-3 weeks, you can expect more patches than less, for sure.
The hero design team from Blizzard is pretty big, and the way they do it is they assign, like, from what I've understood from like reading their blogs and stuff, they assign a hero to a person, they design that hero, everyone plays with it. So like, if 3 people are finishing a hero at the same time, and they get the go-ahead that these heroes are good to go live, then you could see 3 heroes at once.
Right.
But if there's like a lull period where like a month and a half goes by and no heroes are like really polished and ready to go, then I mean, I think Blizzard's taking hero design and map design very differently than the other MOBAs. So.
Which is cool.
Who knows?
They have a different approach in general, obviously. We've seen that, obviously, with this game. So,
I mean, we saw Zagara play at PAX, which made us all think she was on the verge of coming out, and we did not see Murky play it. We saw like a little funny clip. We did not actually see him get played, but Murky came out first.
Yeah.
It just it's all. I don't think there's going to be a set in stone when Blizzard does things.
And then we had what? We had Sylvanas. And we had...
Who's the other that was?
Chen. It was the mage.
No, yeah, no. Chen.
Kel'Thas.
Oh. Kel'Thas and Chen.
And Chen. Chen wasn't at PAX. They just kind of showed... We heard about Chen after. But we've seen...
Chen was at PAX. They showed a skin at PAX.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, we've seen Jaina in the game. And clips, if you like really just look at the stuff from BlizzCon, Rexar, Jaina, Cho'Gall,
Rexar, Thrall.
Yeah, I think there's
there's
a Wolf Raider. So I'm just saying, there's like we've seen so many models of characters in the game. Like, who knows how far along they are?
Yeah. I imagine that like there's a handful of developers that are just focused on making heroes, and they each got like 10 to 15 they're working on at a time.
Yeah.
You know, they're just Blizzard does like. It's always like soon TM, because Blizzard always delays things. Blizzard does something when it's ready. That's how they do their things. And when a hero is ready, we'll see it.
I just remembered a new Barak, and I just got excited.
I know.
Anyway, the second question that I had from Frad Zombie, and it needs to be... my answer needs to be supplemented with an image, so I'm just going to put that in Skype in a second. Another question, when will they finally release Deckard Cain? Will he be a great hero or the greatest hero?
Don't get Kev started. Don't get Kev started.
I think we all know that my answer right now is that he will be the greatest hero because he will be an image of Macho Man Randy Savage. And he's going to come out with his staff and he's going to be like...
Thanks for tuning in to Town Hall episode 16, guys.
Cream of the crop!
Hey, brother! Stay a while and listen! And he's going to bust out, he's going to Hulk, and he's just going to start taking people out because he's...
His heroic, he's actually just going to make it rain Slim Jims. He's going to go,
No, not Slim Jims, identifying scrolls.
Oh my god.
Learn the lore. Come on, jeez.
Learn the lore.
Because we've seen Deckard Cain only when he was in a decrepit old man, but we haven't seen him in his prime when he was like stolen away from the Nexus, and maybe in this crappy lore canceling area is like he's the only one who found how to get back, and that's how he became a Herodrim or something, or maybe Herodrim are people who got back from the Nexus. Who knows? But I just want to see a giant Deckard Cain in his youth taking out everybody. Because we've seen the Herodrim; they're pretty awesome.
They are pretty sick.
Deckard Cain doesn't really come up to that.
One last question: how many heroes / maps do you expect to see at release? I'm expecting release 2015. I mean, that's just kind of how I'm feeling right now. I could see anywhere up to 40 heroes. As for maps, though, we haven't even had a new map yet, and it's been 3 months, so I don't know what their process is with maps. I feel like the maps are going to be really slow. I think we're going to have, like, maybe 2, 3 more maps by release, and I think that might even be pushing it.
That's true. No, the maps I think are going to take a while for them to come out with more, because there's a lot of things you have to put into consideration, and the ones that they came out with were just, I think if I heard correctly, we're just kind of like, oh, we need something for BlizzCon, and they kind of just came up with a couple of maps and with quick ideas, but I think they want to probably flesh out what they want to do with the maps and really try, once the beta comes out, I think we're not going to see really that much changing with the game until the beta comes out, because right now they're kind of, I mean, the tech alpha is to focus on the technical aspects of the game and focus on the servers. But once the beta comes out, I think we'll start to see a lot more of that consistent hero coming out, patches of balances and everything. We'll start to see what Blizzard's model will actually be.
I think that's exactly it. I think, everything right now is just about smoothing out kinks in the game itself, and then we'll see a lot more changes after the beta. So
Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's it for the show, guys. Next week, again, we're going to talk about Haunted Mines. Let's pick a hero, guys.
Ooh.
Tyrael?
I really want to do Witch Doctor.
Tyrael?
Let's do those 2 then. I can do that.
2?
I don't want to do
We spent an hour talking about Hammer. That might be pretty tough.
Yeah,
to
you're
do,
right. You're right.
I don't want to do Tyrael because Kevin and I are going to argue for like 3 freaking hours.
Sounds
It's
like
not,
fun.
and we're not going to get anywhere.
Witch Doctor is something that I feel like none of us have a huge opinion on, and I think that we need to get that opinion on.
And you know what? I don't see Witch Doctor played all that often.
Yeah. So I think we need to do
Let's
that.
do Witch Doctor.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with that.
Let's Witch Doctor.
I do definitely want to do the Tyrael dance though. Eventually, Kev.
Okay.
When you guys are ready.
We
The
will
viewers are not ready.
Maybe we'll do like a Friday night fight.
Yeah, we will throw down on
Tyrael.
Tyrael soon.
Tyrael
I did
discussion.
think quite a bit, and my opinion has changed slightly on him. But Kevin and I actually had a big talk with Idra this morning about Tyrael.
did.
It went nowhere. We just disagreed on everything.
All I know is that Idra has a worse opinion of Tyrael than you do, which I was just like, I don't even understand.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Okay, so Witch Doctor, and then maybe Tyrael the following week.
Yep.
So we'll do Witch Doctors next week. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Let's get some shout outs going. Kev, how are you and your Wii feeling about shout outs today?
My shout outs go to Jake Salt for the day.
Is that what you were holding outside of frame for like 5 minutes? I was like, what is that black stripe on the edge of his thing? Like, the actual, like, what is that thing? And I just see it fold down, and it's like, really, you were holding onto that?
I hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
Here, Jake. You can have the winning ticket. Just go back in time. There you go, buddy. There it is.
At least you're gonna let me borrow it, so I'm less salty.
Yeah. No. I'm a very benevolent salt rubber inner.
So yeah, I'm gonna stream some Mario Kart.
Yeah, go stream some Mario Kart. No, but my shout-outs are to the Smash community because they were awesome. They were really helpful for me when I was actually when I was at the tournament, which I'd never been to one before. D1 followed me today, so I was just like, yeah! The 2 biggest commentators in Smash are following me, so that's what I'm happy about.
I'm 1 out of 2. I'll catch up soon.
Yeah, get on my level. Anyway, well, coming in the next week, I might have a really, really, really awesome announcement, but we'll hold on to that next week.
Oh, wow.
Excite.
The tease.
Super tease.
Corey.
Yo. Shout-outs to me. Shout-outs to Capcom.
Shout-outs to me.
Shout-outs to Capcom for buffing Rose. So sick. I'm excited to play Rose all the week. It's going to be so good.
I got a Hadouken in my webcam. What is this?
Yeah.
God.
Follow me out, Omega Black Mage. That's it.
Hey, Ken, can I borrow your car? Sure you can!
Oh, God. Get out.
Why?
Get out.
Yeah.
Go home. God, disgusting. You filth.
Jake.
Yeah, huge shout out to, again, Smash community. It's a big part of what I do in my life, and it's been a big part of my life, period. It was a lot of fun this weekend. Kev stole my Wii U. I was a little sad about that. The struggle is real. So I am now trying to figure out a way to afford a Wii U, but I'm just gonna stream on his Wii U playing Mario Kart to do that. But yeah, so you can follow my stream, Solid Jake GG, or no, sorry, Solid Jake, and MLG.TV/Solid Jake. And then yeah, I know I confused myself. It's terrible. YouTube.com/Solid Jake GG, where the VOD will be. And actually, if you guys care at all about Smash Brothers, I wanna send you to the Major League Gaming YouTube right now, because we just put up this really sick interview with the current, in my opinion, best player in the world. It's live. It's up now. Yeah, it just got up. It's Dr. PP of Evil Geniuses. We did an interview with him, and it's on YouTube.com/Major League Gaming. And I'm very proud of this. You know, I was a guy that grew up playing Smash Brothers competitively, and this is the first time I ever got in a room and sat down, you know, reporter style with players to do interviews and create these pieces. And the editing team, my friend Raging Cherry and Let's Go Home, they killed it with the actual editing of the video, and it's above and beyond what I ever expected would come out of something like this, and I'm ecstatic, because this is it's a big day for me to have something like this come out that I worked really hard on, and our team worked really hard on. So check that out for me. It means a lot to me.
Okay, well, you guys can follow me at IBD Zoya. I'm actually going to be I'm on IBD Gaming as a Hearthstone player. I'm actually going to be taking this season really seriously. I'm going to grind out lots of games. I'm going to make a push for Legend again, so be checking out my stream for that. This Thursday, I'm going to just go be blunt about it. I'm a giant pussy. I get scared so easy. This Thursday night, I am streaming Amnesia 2, the pig one.
Oh.
So if you guys want to watch...
Wait, there's a sequel coming out?
Yep.
It's already out.
It's already out.
Oh, no.
War for Pigs or something like that. So I'll be playing that this Thursday night. I'm going to be honest, guys. When I played Slenderman the first time, I almost cried. I got so scared. I am a giant girl when it comes to scary
I might have to
stuff.
stream this game too. This sounds fun.
So this Thursday night, if you're interested, follow the stream. I'll be streaming War for Pigs. Again, doing the Legend grind. It's actually still, in my opinion, the best build. I haven't plugged in a while. If you go over to Heroes Nexus, and I'll have Jake posted in the VOD link, I wrote a mouth guide not long ago, and it's still maybe top 2 builds for Malfurion. So if you guys are wanting to play Malfurion, he's still one of the best. He's arguably the best support in game. So if you guys want to go check out that guide, I'll link it in the VOD later on. Follow IBD Gaming at IBD Gaming. Make sure you guys follow the channel. Follow Jake's YouTube channel, because that's where all this content is going. Stay tuned for next week. Got a great show planned for you. Same time, same place. This has been Town Hall episode 16. Later, guys.
Peace.